and it's time for the spoilers.
It's like, come on, dude, really?
He can be upset, but if that motherfucker's in that movie.
Yeah, they like add these furballs and become more family friendly, and then they're getting slaughtered.
Because it was like...
She's finally found Luke, and now what the fuck's gonna happen?
You like Star Wars, you're just a huge nerd.
Is Travis asleep?
No. Shut the fuck up, goddamn.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Jobsquad Media Podcast, and today is a special day because we are doing the Star Wars special right here on the podcast. We're cutting into our bi-weekly schedule that we normally do to bring you Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and basically we're talking about all Star Wars. So let's kick it off. Let's go around the room. Fake room. We're all in different rooms. I'm Jake, aka Bomber. What's going on? I got Ricochet over there. He's still wearing the hat. The hat is on. What's up?
What's up, man?
Yeah, not too much, not too much. And by the way, if you're not listening to us on YouTube or watch us on YouTube, we're on iTunes, so I know we might reference some things. But anyway, Hiatus Troll, I see you down there. What's going on?
Who dat?
Oh, don't give me no Saints bullshit.
That's right. Who dat say who dat when I say who dat?
Jesus Christ. All right, and I don't know if you noticed anything. If you're a normal watcher, Johnny Cage in a different room. It's solid white there. If you notice, I'm sitting in his room. I'm recording this in his room. What's going on? He flew back home.
Yeah, I'm in New York for the holidays. What's going on?
Yeah, no, not too much. I took a shit on your bed, so
Nice.
that's good.
Thanks.
It looks very festive. That white wall.
The wall's actually green.
I
so-
feel like that's green.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you just can't tell because of the light, and my camera is terrible.
It's pretty bare.
I was about to say, yeah, he's operating off a laptop, so you're gonna have to deal with that. But anyway, guys, let's get right into it. We're talking Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Episode 7. We're gonna go over, first of all, overall impressions. What did you guys think? Obviously, most of us probably think it was pretty good. But let's hear who wants to start it off. Just overall impressions of Force Awakens.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely is way better than all the prequels.
Hands down, way better than the prequels.
This is the movie that we should have gotten in 1999. It's just, I mean, it's not perfect.
Who directed that movie? Does anybody know?
George Lucas.
George Lucas. So he directed. Did he direct all three of them?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
And that was
Well,
the
there you
problem.
go. I was about to say. Well, there you go. That was that's the whole deal. The whole problem.
But yeah, I mean, it's not a perfect movie. I have problems with it as always, but it's one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. So I'll start with that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I don't think you can make a perfect movie. There's always going to be a flaw.
Oh, you
here
can
or
make
there.
a perfect movie.
Well,
Have you
name
not-
a perfect movie.
have you
Name
not
a
seen
perfect movie.
Citizen Kane.
Kingpin. Boom.
Oh my gosh.
Too fucking
But-
good.
I was thoroughly satisfied. I was sitting in my theater seat, just giddy, grinning from ear to ear.
Was there a bunch of people cheering at your theater? I assume.
No, it was.
They didn't
pretty-
cheer
it
it
was
at the
pretty
credits.
chill.
They didn't cheer at the credit crawl.
Really?
At the story crawl.
Oh, I did. I was like, hell yeah!
Oh, well, everybody in our theater was clapping.
It was like, the hair on the back of your neck was standing up. Just like,
Oh, God.
I didn't get that at my theater.
You didn't get anything either.
No, I didn't get anything. It was like, okay, guys. I mean, I was
well,
excited.
What size is your computer monitor?
Oh. Hey,
Trolling the
bitch.
troll.
I went to the theater.
Oh,
You
you've
got
got
the
the
cup,
cup.
Oh wow, you got a.
No, I threw
Oh.
mine away first, and I had to buy another one. So fucking.
Oh, you got a special cup. That's pretty cool. That's
We
pretty
didn't
That
cool.
thing was not cheap.
Yeah, we didn't get shit.
Well, I don't know. I think the movie. I think it was the pace of the movie. I thought was really well.
Mhm.
You know, there wasn't. I didn't feel like there was ever a dull moment.
No, there's a lot of action. There's a lot of action.
That's a problem for bathroom goers such as myself.
Yeah. How do you? First of all, let's get into this super quick.
Well, wait,
How the
we
hell?
got to get Travis's opinion. We'll go to my bathroom
Oh.
story later.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
overall.
I really loved it. I mean, yeah, of course, it wasn't the perfect movie, and there were some things that I think should have been explained for people that have not if you're going into this blind, not seeing any type of Star Wars movie, have no education about what the Force is and stuff like that, and all that, and you probably there should have been some more things explained about it because for people that understand stuff like that or know about a little bit about the lore, then you probably wouldn't understand like some of the things that experienced in the movie or whatnot. So, because I had a couple of my coworkers who go like, "Oh, this seemed kind of like messed up right here," like I was like, "Well, like if you knew something about like how the Force works or whatnot, or how you'd probably be able to understand."
So you went with people that didn't really like they haven't seen all the Star Wars movies.
Well, I went with my brother-in-law, and he was on his phone half the time like an idiot. So
in the theater?
Yeah, in the theater.
So tell him to get up and leave, man.
No,
That's
fuck
like
that,
You had to
man.
slap him.
that is like a major pet peeve of mine.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
I know.
like fucked up, man.
I know.
We had a kid
Yeah.
sitting in front of us. I think he was like maybe 6, and he was just like every time Finn was like displayed on the screen, he was like, "Yeah, get him, Finn." And I was like, "Kid, if you don't shut the fuck up."
Oh yeah, oh, I gotta tell you something. I had this little fucking kid next to me, right? And the whole time, like anytime like it showed Rey, he's like, "Oh, Princess Leia," and it's
What?
yeah, the whole time he was, and like he's like, "Hey, it's Princess," because it was like,
Oh, excuse me.
Maybe
died?
I think he kept hearing his dad shush him. I don't.
yeah,
think
his dad. There was two. I guess they were brothers or friends. I don't know what they were, and like the dad on the end, and he's like, "Shh, shh," because like they would talk every time. They're like, "Oh, Princess Leia," oh, that's Han Solo," and it was like totally somebody fucking random and not Solo. I was like, "What?" But yeah, that was pretty annoying. Like the entire time.
Oh, I didn't know that they were doing that.
Yeah, you didn't hear him because he was telling his friend right or brother or whatever it was right beside him. So.
It is an acquired skill to be able to tune other people out in
Yeah.
the theater when you are trying to pay close attention to what is going on.
Yeah, and
It is an acquired skill. You have to practice it because if you go in there firsthand and then that happens, you're going to be distracted.
yeah,
Alright.
and it was right off the beginning too. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fucking rough." But anyway, I didn't give my thoughts yet. Real quick, my thoughts. I thought it was fantastic. From the very beginning to the very end, the final scene was fucking great too. The final scene was fantastic. I can't think of too many things that I didn't like, but I know we're gonna be getting into like what we didn't like, what we did like in a minute. But overall, I loved it. It was definitely easily one of the top Star Wars movies I've seen ever. So, yeah. But yeah, let's first tell them about your little bathroom story real quick.
Oh, so I mean,
Well, okay. Well, first,
when I go to movies, typically all I get are nachos and water. Like I don't really get much else.
It's a really weird combination.
Well, I'm not a huge soda drinker, so I get like a big bottle of water. But because there was like 9 previews, and we were sitting in the theater before the preview started, I had to go to the bathroom like halfway through the movie. So after the battle on at Maz Kanata's
Oh, is it Nathizm?
yeah, I forgot the planet name, but
I think that's how you pronounce it.
after the battle on her planet at the bar or at the temple or whatever, I was like, okay, this is probably a good time. It's a lull. I'll have a minute to go to the bathroom. I get to go to the bathroom. I come back, and then at the end of the movie, Jake's like, "So you missed something pretty important when you went to the bathroom, right?" And I thought he was joking because it's like, how could something important happen after that? Like that's the important thing. How could they double up on it? So I guess I missed the part when Kylo Ren's talking to Darth Vader's helmet.
yeah, he missed that
Yeah,
part of the
you
movie. Are you kidding me? God.
So I'm going again on Wednesday, and I won't be going to the bathroom during that scene. So,
But I noticed every time we go to the movies, you have went to the bathroom in every single time. How do you go to the bathroom in the middle of the movie? I've never once in my life went to the bathroom in the middle of the
Jake,
movie.
you also
in the
never
theater.
had crumb cake until I moved in with you. So
That's true, but
there are things that you do and don't do that is just very strange. So
how is that strange? I paid.
Is that something like from the north?
See, look, this guy don't know. Boom.
you absolutely know what crumb cake is. Don't lie to me.
See,
Come on,
Anyway.
I know we're brothers
I've never
from
had it.
different lives.
see, Travis and Elias haven't had it.
Coffee
Boom.
cake,
Coffee cake. Nah, I can't say that I had that.
whatever.
Anyway, yeah.
I'd never heard it.
I go to. I mean, dude, you should see me on planes. I go to the on the plane ride home. It was an hour. I went to the bathroom twice. I go to the
You
bathroom a
dropped
lot.
the deuce.
You're crazy. I can't do it in the middle of the movie. Anyway, let's get going. All right, what are some of your favorite scenes from the movie? What are some of your worst scenes? Like John, you said you had stuff that you didn't like. What the hell? Let's start with stuff we didn't like first. What the hell did you not like? And by the way, yes, there will be spoilers in this. If we haven't said it already,
right.
there will be spoilers. So, boom.
I have an issue.
I don't want to start with stuff that I don't like.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the stuff that I don't like is sort of minor, and I'm assuming will be explained later. So I'll start with something that I did like.
Okay, we'll start with stuff we did like then.
Not to get on a big like feminism tip or anything, but like I really liked that Rey turned out to be the Jedi, and she was the one, like, she's stronger than everyone else, and like I thought that was really, really smart because, again, you know, not to compare this to the prequels, but Padme was like a waste of a character. Like, there were so many opportunities to use Padme like a really strong way, and they sort of just like led her by the wayside to just be like the helpless girl, and it's like, no, man, like you have Princess Leia who becomes a general and is like commanding the rebellion in the first 3 movies. And yeah, don't get me wrong, like she was turned into Slave Leia, which is kind of crazy back in the 80s, but like as a character, she is a strong character. Like she's strongly written. She's not even in A New Hope. Like she was the one bossing everybody around. Like she's the shit. Like she's Princess Leia. And then in the prequels, Padme was just like, aside from like shooting a blaster in episode 1, she really didn't do anything.
Yeah, so I was about to say, she wasn't completely. I mean, she was leading like a command going into I remember they had like a scene in a hallway where they had a firefight in a hallway.
Yes,
where were they going for that?
That's when they go back to Naboo to kidnap the guys, or not to kidnap the guys, but to capture the guys from the Trade Federation, and then that's when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fight Darth Maul. Right. But that's the only time. In episode 2, I don't think she does anything, and in episode 3, she does nothing.
Nobody does anything in fucking episode 2.
So I really liked that Rey was presented as a really strong character. I mean, like her versus Kylo Ren with the lightsaber fight was just incredible. It's not the best lightsaber fight that they've ever done, but it was really good. And then, so I really liked Rey as a character, but then that sort of feeds into something that I don't like, and the fact that she is somehow so unbelievably strong with the Force, it makes no sense. And I'm really hoping that she's either like Kylo Ren's twin or Luke Skywalker's daughter or something. Like, she has to be someone.
Yeah.
No one can go from thinking that the Force and the Jedi are a complete myth to being able to pull off a Jedi mind trick on, that was Daniel Craig, by the way, in that Stormtrooper suit.
When the mind tricked one?
Yes, that was Daniel Craig. Yeah, that was just like a dumb cameo. Like, it wasn't anything major. I don't think he's gonna be in the movies again. That was just like a sort of like one-time thing. But like no uninitiated Jedi performs a Jedi mind trick, keeps people out of their head, and then can fight with a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
the only thing that I see of her in terms of the lightsaber fight, her having the experience to even wield the lightsaber, is just the staff that she has at the beginning of the movie. You know,
okay.
I can see her kind of using those skills to help her along that way. To add on to her strong character that you were talking about, John, you can see that she's had to really fend for herself. In what is it, Jakku?
Yeah.
So that right there has built her personality into strong and very independent, and you can see that she's just that's where she gets her strength from.
Yeah.
And the Force is a mystery at this point. You can tell. I mean, if you see what's going around, it's dormant. The only person who really has it is Snoke and Kylo Ren, and it's obviously like a mystery because when Kylo when they invade Jakku and they are looking for Poe, you know, Poe shoots that blaster at him, and Kylo just stops it mid-fire.
That was crazy.
They're bringing Poe by, and you just see it panoramic go by, and Poe's just looking at it like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
because this shit ain't supposed to happen.
Yeah,
and so that tells you that they're not really familiar with the Force. I mean, it's been 30 years since Luke has gone in exile or vanished.
When they bring Poe and make him kneel before Kylo Ren, he's like, so who talks first? Do I talk? Do you talk? Like, what happens?
Right.
That was so funny. That was so good.
Oh yeah.
And so when all of a sudden her Force Awakens either at the point where you can't really tell because Kylo and Snoke are talking about it, and Snoke brings it up. You must have felt an awakening, and Kylo's like, "Yes, I felt it on Jakku. Someone has innate potential with the Force."
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
They did a good job of that though too, because in the marketing scheme of things,
It's all Finn.
It was all Finn. Like even in the previews, like when I saw him have the lightsaber, I was like, oh man, he's the Jedi. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And that's why Kylo stops and looks at Finn when he's in the stormtrooper.
Exactly.
Like, something's off with this stormtrooper. That's why he must have felt it at that point and looked at Finn, who was looking at him like, "You're fucking crazy, dude. You're a psychopath."
And then when he talks about the actual stormtrooper, he actually calls him out by name.
Yeah,
on that Death Star.
2187.
Hey, he knows who it is. He's like, I know who fucked up.
Yep.
Don't mess with me. I know who fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, he has no idea it's Rey.
Yeah.
One other small gripe that I have with the film.
I thought you were talking about good stuff first.
Well, I did. I mean, Rey is like my favorite part of the movie. She's just such a good character, and but like the one other thing was that, and this sort of feeds into what I brought up about Poe before, where like there were a little bit there were a few too many jokes in the movie.
No,
and it was getting a little not annoying, but it was just like I think the last joke they had was when they kidnapped Phasma, and that's another thing that sort of annoyed me actually, was that they promoted Captain Phasma a lot as like a big, basically like a villain, and then she was in 2 scenes.
She might be in more, but might be
right. No, yeah, she's gonna be in episode 8. She's gonna be in episode 9. Like, well, that's not confirmed, but like,
I think her and Finn will play a big part.
The duping with Finn as the Jedi was good. Like that's a good marketing flip-flop, because it's like, here's a surprise. But with Phasma, it's more like, here is this major character. Oh wait, no, she's only in 2 scenes.
I think that she's done now.
You think she died in that room? They locked her in that room and the fucking place blew up.
Hey, threw her down the garbage chute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You think somebody got her out?
Let's not forget A New Hope. I think it was where Chewbacca and Han Solo were in the garbage.
Well, they're all in the garbage chute. That was the joke.
Yeah.
But, okay, so anyway, there were a couple too many jokes, and like the one that really sort of like got on my nerves was when Chewie tackles Phasma, and then they have like Finn has her at gunpoint. He's like, "Yeah, who's in charge now? Who's in charge now, Phasma?" And it's like, come on, dude, like, really?
No, he was saying a lot of funny stuff throughout the whole movie. It's not like that was out of character or anything.
I thought that was a little much.
But you gotta realize, man, this is Finn's like real first adventure. Brought up as a stormtrooper. He's like,
I think he's able a good character, but
just let loose.
That's one of the things that I wanted.
Character, but I just the joke sort of annoyed me after a while.
So that's one of the things that I wanted to say, that one of the big things I really like about this movie is the comedy, the joke stuff were fantastic throughout the movie.
Yeah, they were tied in really well.
Okay. Yeah, that was one of my favorite things about the movie, was all the jokes were so like
sanitation. That's not how the Force works. That's not how any of this works.
Exactly. Everything was just, it wasn't like random out of nowhere and like.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It was funny. There were funny parts.
Yeah.
But that one Phasma thing sort of irritated me. At that point, I was thinking, okay, enough. Like, we get it. Like, there's humor in this movie, fine. But,
maybe, but I don't know. I really like all the comedy bits in there. That one included. But that's one of the things that I was surprised about, because they had to break up the action with some stuff, and with the drama, the action, of course, they had to throw in some good comedy. Because I mean, they've always had good comedy and stuff, usually coming from Solo. But
and then finally, one of the bigger things that I liked about it or loved about it was that it sets up the other movies very well. It leaves a lot open. It leaves ends on a big cliffhanger with Rey finding Luke. And, we have to wonder, what has Luke been doing on that island for the past 20, 25 years? Like, has he turned into Yoda and just gone a little crazy, or has he just been training? Because
he's been eating. That's what he's been doing.
That
motherfucker put on some pounds.
He looked a bit crazed.
Well,
you looked at his eyes. You're like, this guy done lost it. He's card carrying crazy.
But I mean, he had to have known that Han died. He knows that Kylo Ren is doing what he's doing. He has to know about Snoke. Like, if Snoke is the one that seduced Ben, then, and turned him into Kylo Ren, then, Luke has to know. So I'm hoping, praying to God that he's just been like sitting on that island, training and like coming up with some new force powers. It's gonna like blow our minds in Episode 8. But yeah, I mean, it leaves a lot open, and Finn incapacitated. What's gonna happen with him? What role will Leia play in Episode 8 and 9? How's Chewie going to do? Now that R2's up and C-3PO has been introduced and, they're roaming around together in the Millennium Falcon, what are they going to do? Like, it sets up so much, and it leaves it open to like so many different possibilities of where the story can go. And now we know that Kylo Ren's going to be undergoing his own training, with Snoke. It's time to complete his training, he said. So it just leaves so much open for Episode 8 and 9. And if you take a look at the first installment of the previous two trilogies, A New Hope doesn't end on a cliffhanger, aside from the fact that Darth Vader may not be dead. And that's fine, because Star Wars was meant to be Star Wars. It wasn't originally meant to be a trilogy, and that's fine. Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi are great films, But with Phantom Menace, that ended on like the most... it ended basically the most obvious way it could have, with they need to train the boy. Like, we knew that the original prequel trilogy was about a character that we knew existed, and we need to figure out, like, we needed to be told the story of how, like, we needed to be told his life story. So the breaking points of episodes 1 through 3 were pretty obvious, whereas in 7, 8, and 9, this is a brand new story with brand new characters. Sure, you have Han, Leia, Luke, and Chewie, and maybe others, thrown in there, but these are stories about Finn, Rey, Kylo Ren, Snoke. Like, these are new characters, new stories, and it just like there's so much creative freedom that these people can take with it, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, that's my spiel.
What was one of your favorite scenes, Travis, or favorite parts from the movie?
I mean, Finn really caught my eye like early on. I mean, I kind of like I want to say related to him a little bit. He's just really funny character. I mean, I like a little too funny maybe on some parts, but I mean, he was pretty hilarious. Like when he broke out what's his name, Poe from the Star Destroyer. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna break you out." And he goes like, Poe goes like, "Why are you doing this?" Goes like, "Because it's the right thing to do." And Poe goes like, "You need a pilot, don't you?" Goes like, "Yeah." So
it's all good stuff.
And then they're like walking down the down the hangar bay. And he's like, "Just act calm, act natural," and stuff. I was, "I am acting calm." He goes, "I'm talking to myself." Just those little things.
Yeah.
I mean, he was such a funny character. I mean, he kind of livened the scene. I mean, every scene with him just seemed really fast paced and very lively. Really like
almost like frantic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
sure.
Especially like when he was telling BB-8 that he was not really part of Resistance, and he's trying to tell BB-8,
yes,
just tell Rey that where the base is, so we go ahead and get you there.
That was one of my favorite scenes of the movie.
He is cringing. He's not going to tell him. He's like, "Come on, man, just tell her." And then he finally caves, and he gives us a thumbs up. And then the BB-8 gives the lighter thumbs up. Oh my god,
it was so good.
I was laughing.
Yes.
That gave BB-8 humanity. Like that, this thing is more than just a droid.
Yep, that was like
It's a bro.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie right there when he was trying to talk to her or convince BB-8. Yeah, that's hilarious. What about you, Liz? What were one of your favorite scenes?
I think one of my favorite scenes in the movie is where they're on planet Nathizum and the First Order has arrived, and then Finn's trying to run across the battlefield, and the Resistance arrives, and then you see Poe in the background of the panoramic, and Finn's running in the foreground, and in the background it's like a one take. You just see Poe just destroying all these TIE fighters and stuff, and it's just like, holy fuck, this shit is so good. And it finally stops, and Finn's like, "That's what I'm talking about. That's a damn pilot right there." Just like, fuck yeah, dude. That was just shot really well.
Finn is almost like an active audience member.
Yeah.
Like as a character. Like he knows what's going on. He's so insane.
He's there to hype the audience up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
my favorite scene.
That was really good. And actually, the funny thing is, during that whole battle and whatnot, one of my least favorite things happened during that battle of the whole movie. When Finn actually had the lightsaber and popped it out, and he went one-on-one with that stormtrooper, and he pulled out that little I don't know what it was, the little
a baton?
The baton,
It was
I
like
guess so.
The stun baton, yeah.
Yeah, it
Like a photon. It was like
yeah,
some
it popped
kinda,
out, and it seemed to have like electricity in it or something. But how did that withstand the lightsaber? Like, why wouldn't the lightsaber just fucking
Probably
just?
what it's designed for.
But there was no lightsabers. Why would they be designed for that?
But
Well, I mean, lightsabers
we
can't
talk
cut
about
through
the
anything.
First
though.
Order, though.
I mean,
Look who's-
there's some things you can't cut through.
well, yeah,
Really?
and also in Star Wars Rebels, which is canon, there are things aside from lightsabers that can fight against lightsabers.
But I mean, unless those were in that, lightsabers haven't been around, so they wouldn't have built that to specifically fight against lightsabers.
What's Kylo Ren using?
Lightsaber?
Right.
Yeah.
So lightsabers still exist.
That's the only one.
But it doesn't matter. They need to be able to fight against that, knowing that they exist.
I mean, look who's the mastermind behind this. We're talking about Snoke.
Yeah, and
You
Kylo
don't
Ren
think
was
he's going to prepare for countermeasures?
by Luke Skywalker, the
Yeah,
the
but
Jedi
They're
who
actually
trained
looking
Kylo
for
Ren.
that guy. Right? Yeah, they're actually looking for Luke Skywalker the whole time. That's like their main,
Yeah.
Kylo Ren's main purpose right there.
I don't know. Maybe
So I think-
not. It seemed for me when I was watching it and that dude busted that thing out and started beating the shit out of Finn. I'm like,
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe
If I
it's
was-
because it's different. Like that's new to this era of
oh,
Star Wars.
I
It's
like
something
new
that can
stuff.
go-
I mean, it's just
No, I'm not saying that is bad. I'm saying maybe the reason why you thought that it was weird is because it's very different compared to what we've seen in the past 6 movies, where nothing aside from a lightsaber can go against another lightsaber.
yeah. That's why I'm used to hitting people with a lightsaber and they fucking disappear. But
Right.
yet he hits this thing and it fucking just knocks it away. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't do anything. It's like completely counters it.
Yeah, it may have a crystal in it. Like it may.
Honestly, though, an experienced Jedi would have just demolished that dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
I
not
would
like he was
I would have Ermac'd him like 5 times up and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There would have been no contest.
Fucking Ermac.
And how experienced was Finn with that lightsaber? I was like, damn, this dude should not be blocking all this shit.
He did pretty good with that thing. He did pretty
Yeah.
good.
He hit a Jedi. He landed a hit on a Jedi.
Well,
I have a qualm about that.
He landed a hit on an untrained Jedi
Well,
because we don't know when Ben left and became Kylo Ren. We don't know how much
That's
he's
he
been
was
trained.
he was kind of trained, and also remember he was also hurt. He got shot by a Chewie.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
bleeding.
He was bleeding. That's the only reason why I think like they
I think
made him
there's 2
lose.
reasons.
They made him lose
3
that
reasons
fight.
You can say.
Yeah, I think
He
there's
got
another
shot
reason for
by
that.
Chewie,
hmm
untrained Jedi, and the fact he's letting his emotions overtake.
Oh my
control
God,
him.
yeah.
He gets
Yeah.
like, if you lose your mind or it's a mental game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
Here's
yeah, he was
another
throwing
thing.
temper tantrums 20 minutes prior.
And Stormtrooper's like, yeah, we're totally walking the other way.
Yeah.
Well, here's
Fucking
keep
great.
in mind, the dark side. You know, a Sith or whatnot. You're supposed to give in to your emotions when you're like being towards the dark side. The light
True.
side, you're not really supposed to give in to your emotions. So
True.
that should have played a big factor into that. You know, him going into his emotions, but also the fact that he was like when he was making the confession to the Darth Vader mask, which you missed out on,
Yeah,
John.
you fucking
Yeah.
missed.
He was saying he was going toward like he had some conflict with
Impulses.
him, you know, going like feeling the light side in him.
Mhm,
So I think that kind of like diminished his power with the dark side
mhm.
quite a bit.
Okay.
You know,
See, I thought, well, I don't want to go into it fully, but whenever he killed Han, I thought that was like his full-on boom. All right,
yeah.
I just like, all right, now I'm fucking dark side. That's the one transformation that I thought was the final factor.
It was
Yeah.
almost like a gang initiation. Like you've got to kill somebody close to you.
Yeah, and like boom, that fucking did it. And even like, yeah, I mean,
And
yeah.
Snoke made it like such a big deal. Like, we'll see if you're able to do it. But this dude did it in cold blood. Like, no problem.
Yeah, he
Hello?
Did. He kinda
Yeah,
did.
man.
He kind of did.
I
no
even
problem.
learned-
that scene.
Well, no.
Oh,
He did it because he was given permission to do it.
Oh, from his dad, like his dad gave him
Yeah,
permission?
I mean, he tricked Han Solo to saying, "I'll do anything," and like he didn't give him the full understanding of what he meant.
Come on, man. We
Yeah.
knew. We
No,
knew
no.
Han knew.
I know. Well, no. I mean, he may not have known, but
I think he.
no, I don't think he knew. I don't think.
Yeah,
he
I
knew.
don't. I
I
agree
think
with
he knew
John.
that he could have gone in there and died, but I don't think he knew that he was going to die when he stepped on. Like we knew that he was going to die the minute.
Oh,
Come on,
I-
anytime you step
yeah.
on a catwalk and there's an object in front of you preventing you from crossing, You're gonna die.
But
Yep.
if you like really like this, this may not be the case. But like the way that I interpreted it and a couple of my friends interpreted it was that Ben is asking for permission to relieve himself of the conflict, and Han Solo says, "I'll do anything to help you," and he says, "Okay," and then he kills him. Like he needed permission to do it because he needed to know that his father was willing to help him solve whatever problem he had internally, and Ben thinks that by killing him, that solves the problem.
Isn't
Right.
Han just a nice guy?
And Han already knows that Kylo's on his way to the dark side.
Yeah, I mean, when he was talking to Leia, it seemed like he knew.
He's a lot more practical than Leia.
Yeah.
He's accepted it.
Yeah.
And you got Chewbacca going Super Saiyan, all of a sudden can hit any shot he wants with the fucking
right?
blaster.
Yeah. That had to be the longest range shot ever. But
The crossbow.
that's true. He had that badass crossbow.
I like this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, look, all these quotes that were thrown out are all the fucking funny parts.
I know. It still bugs me a little, but
How does that bug you? It's so good.
I think it's really just a Phasma thing. Like, I thought that was a little bit much.
Yeah. God, I can kind of see how you say that, but
I had a qualm with what John was saying, where in agreement with him that how do you wake up and all of a sudden you know a Jedi mind trick and you're able to,
Oh, fuck yeah.
have someone help you escape.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I just don't get it. You're
Yeah.
not.
That was way-
I
little-
understand maybe a prodigy.
So
Come on.
what I was talking about with my friends last night was maybe when Kylo Ren is searching Rey's mind for the map and like using whatever force power he's using on her, that may have awoken some innate abilities in her.
Yeah.
But again, like a Jedi mind trick, I feel is something that you don't know to do unless someone shows it to you.
Didn't take
Right.
Luke like
Like,
a real
hey,
long
by
time
the
to
way,
get that?
we can do this. Like Jedi can manipulate the weak-minded.
That seems like you need to come to at least be accepted into a higher level before you even allowed to even be shown that trick.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
How
Didn't
would
take.
you even know that trick existed?
Right.
But,
That, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm
the
saying.
problem.
We're talking
How
about
would you
30
know?
years, man. 30
How would you
years.
know? How would you know?
Well,
'Cause
she
the
might
only
have heard
time
the
we ever
legend.
actually we saw that twice in the original trilogy. I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn did it a bunch of times, but we saw it twice in the original trilogy. Obi-Wan does it to the Stormtrooper in Mos Eisley in A New Hope, and then Luke does it in Return of the Jedi
Jedi.
when he's
That's
going to
the
Jabba's.
only times you
Only times you've ever seen. Qui-Gon does it, and I want to say, Obi-Wan does it in the bar in Attack of the Clones when he says, "You don't want to sell me death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life." And then I think Qui-Gon does it once in Phantom Menace. So, like, again, like, it's not something super common, and for someone who didn't know or who thought that the Force, the Jedi, the Sith, everything was a myth,
Well, I don't
how
know about
would
it.
she know how to do that?
Maybe she thought it was like a legend. Like it might be a legend. Like she believes it is true, but it's just
Isn't
Right,
that what
but
a myth is?
well
Yeah,
a myth. Well,
They're
that
the same
isn't.
thing.
I guess so, but also something that like, that's a myth. That's not real. But a legend more
Right,
like
yeah,
that's
okay, yeah,
real.
right. But we're saying the same thing. But like, yeah, so she may have believed that it was real, but how would she know how to do that?
Yeah, because that was
Force grab, I can give her. That's sort of an obvious thing. Like, you see that you can control things with your mind, fine.
yeah.
You want to force grab something, cool. But a Jedi mind trick is a little much for me.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm hoping in Episode 8,
Dude.
Luke's like, "Oh, by the way, you're my daughter." Like, I think that's easy
don't know, man.
writing. I wouldn't be too fond of that sort of storyline, but
She's an engineer, man.
what does that
Look at how her and Han were meshing with.
Oh, they were
the whole-
driving. They were driving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's gonna build a sick lightsaber, dude.
It's going to be 3 sides.
Be fucking hula hoop.
Oh, I got a question real quick about her and lightsabers and shit.
Sure.
Did she ever use her pole as a lightsaber?
No.
Now,
She
why?
used the pole
No, what did you say?
in combat, though.
Yeah, but in all the art, I've seen her pole is actually a lightsaber.
No, it's not.
No.
In the artwork, it's just on the same
Maybe it
angle
will
as
become
Kylo Ren's
a lightsaber.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Maybe it
I'll
will
look at the
become a
poster when it's done.
double-edged lightsaber.
It looks like. I feel like I've seen her pole as a lightsaber somewhere.
Maybe on the poster because it's
That's
like
on-
Maybe on
right
fan.
in line.
It could
No,
be on like
it's
some sort of fan art or something
It's
like
no.
that.
Here's what you're seeing. She's holding it at the same exact angle of Kylo Ren's lightsaber.
Yeah. So it looks like they're meshing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's
Okay.
not a lightsaber though. I don't even think it has like an energy
It
field.
could be foreshadowing, though, man.
It could be. It
That would be awesome.
And that's like such another thing too. Is like on
Yeah.
all the promotional material, all they ever showed holding a lightsaber was Kylo Ren and Finn, and then it winds up at Rey's the Jedi. It's like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah, and all these little hidden
Yeah.
Easter eggs in the poster.
It's so good.
It's enticing.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys want to go a little bit more in depth into like one of the biggest things probably of the movie was Han's death.
Sure.
So I know Travis, you said you had some stuff you wanted to talk about. You said you think it was like because he didn't want to do any more movies or didn't want to do the movie.
No, you know, before Harrison Ford like even signed on to do this movie, or even before Disney got a hold of it, you know, he was like pretty much standoffish on anything that was like Star Wars related. I'm pretty sure he was the same thing with like any other movies he's done in the past, you know. Like he didn't go to any of the conventions or whatnot that they probably had or whatnot, and like he just never talked about it at all. And then when they did the anniversary for Empire Strikes Back, he went to that. That was like the first real big thing he's ever done with Star Wars since doing the movies. And he said he really enjoyed it. And then you know, I mean, that kind of brought him back to being you know, being involved with Star Wars. And then this comes out. Disney comes with it, saying they're buying it, and then first thing they say is we're doing new movies. I was like flipping out. I was like, holy shit. So, and the fact that they got freaking Harrison Ford to sign on to it,
Endless.
So
yeah, it was amazing.
So you think they killed him off though because he didn't want to do it? Is that what you're saying?
I think that he didn't want to make a 3-film commitment.
Okay, so you
That's what
think
it is.
that? Okay.
He wanted it to be done, and I think it was Return of the Jedi, right? I think he was making a big deal that he wanted to be killed in Return of the Jedi.
Or like what was it? Empire Strikes Back, at least I think is what it was.
I think the Carbonite plot was because they weren't sure if he was going to return.
Yeah,
that's right. That is true. I remember that.
So you know he was already like you know already a foot out the door like with Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
And then like, you know Return of the Jedi. So you know, and I think that you know him being a little older, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
like this guy is old.
It was time, man. I mean,
I think that
story has to go on. Sorry, go ahead, John.
I think that him dying was important for a few reasons. One, it sets the stakes of this trilogy. Like, if Han Solo can die, anyone can die. Like, it could be Finn, it could be Rey, it could be Leia, it could be Luke. Doesn't matter. Anyone can die in this film now.
Oh, yeah.
Because this isn't just a fan service. Like, yeah, sure. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, this is a fan service film. Like, there was a lot of stuff that was in this movie that didn't need to be in this movie. That were simply there for the fans. A lot of nods to the original trilogy and the original characters. Like, why is Akbar even in this film? Like, he doesn't need to be there, but he's there because people want to see him.
Yeah.
But knowing that Han Solo can die means that no one is safe, and it's almost like a Game of Thrones situation where it's like the director, like Rian Johnson, who's directing 8 and 9, can turn around and have Luke die in the first 5 minutes of the next film.
Yeah.
And going back to the Disney acquisition of Star Wars, I mean, when they went ahead and like just expunged all that that canon that they had on the expanded universe from like 6 and on, I mean, like when you did that, you got rid of a lot of characters that I went through a lot. Like in the expanded universe, Chewbacca dies. Like you know, a moon like lands onto the planet, like collides with planet or whatnot. And he's still on that planet. He's dead. He's gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, Mara Jade, like Luke's wife in that book series, dies. Like you know,
Oh wow.
like by like what was it? Actually, by Han Solo's son, Jason Solo. You know.
Jason.
Like so, yeah, Jason Solo.
I wonder
So-
why they
These
changed.
names.
I wonder why they changed names.
Well, I mean, okay, so I mean, you gotta, you know, these are new characters, man. You can't really think of the old canon. Okay,
That's why it's so exciting.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I was really mad when they decided to get rid of the old canon, but you know, they needed to for these movies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's so much established.
Yeah, for the past 25, 30 years, there have been probably like 100 books, countless amount of comics that set up, you know, so many characters, so many planets, so many galaxies, and they were never like that was considered canon, but for like the average movie going audience, that's not something that they would ever know about. So they can't make feature films off of that and expect it to do well. So yeah, by throwing it, like it sucks, but they needed to throw all that out.
Yeah. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
that's crazy that Chewie dies. I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
you know, they said they needed to have somebody die in the series, so they were like, well, who are we gonna do? I mean, you can't have a major character. They were a little chicken shit on like killing off a major cast character in that whole spiel. So, well, we'll kill Chewie. He can't even speak English, you know. I mean, I guess that's how it happened. You know, like all he does is bark, guys. You know,
Yeah.
shit.
And even Chewie was funny in this movie, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Now I wonder what that means for Boba Fett in this trilogy.
oh, good call. I didn't even think about
Han and Boba Fett had a lot of run-ins in the extended universe.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Like Boba Fett actually survives his fate in the Starlight.
but then he falls in again. Yeah, like happens
That's a
again.
bad fucking look.
Really?
Yeah,
I
he's a
didn't see
klutz.
that.
Like he's not a good bounty hunter.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So he's still alive and everything.
Well, in the expanded universe, yes, he was alive. He
Wow.
dies eventually.
See, I
But
don't even
he-
remember where his last scene was. Like, was he in Return of the Jedi?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah, he falls into the Sarlacc pit.
Oh, that's right. So he dies, right?
That's all you
He doesn't die though. He doesn't.
die. Like
Oh,
The,
okay.
the Sarlacc takes
That's right, I remember
like
that
over
now,
like
yeah.
it takes like centuries to digest somebody. C-3PO says it. So like it takes centuries to actually digest a human. So he doesn't actually die.
Yeah, he'll probably die of starvation and dehydration or something like that.
Yeah.
Before anything else happens, so it's pretty tragic.
Yeah, I mean he's got body armor on, so you know.
You know, I'm pretty sure I missed an important part. I had to use the restroom also.
Oh, you son of a bitch! How do you people do
I
it?
think I got up whenever they were describing or explaining why Kylo Ren is who he is and his run-in with Luke. I missed that whole part.
So Luke was training like the new generation of Jedi,
Okay.
and Leia and Han sent Ben off to train with him. And then it wasn't explicitly stated that it was Ben or Kylo Ren, but apparently one of Luke's apprentices killed all the other Jedi, or like went around killing Jedi, and it's assumed that boy is Kylo Ren. And then
Maybe it's not.
maybe it's not. It could. And then Han and Leia. This happened at a sort of a different time, maybe in the film. But Leia was saying like the minute we lost, Han was saying like I should have never let him go.
Oh yeah.
And then Leia was like, it wasn't you. Like Snoke is the one who turned him. And then she said something like, you know, the minute that I let him go was when we lost him, or something like that. So yeah, it was explained over sort of like the course of the movie. Leia was saying that the minute they let Ben go to train with Luke was when they lost him. But for Han not to blame himself for Ben turning to the dark side, because she was saying that it was Snoke who. Yeah. So that actually makes me feel like in either episode 8 or 9, we're gonna get some sort of flashback of Snoke either appearing, you know, in front of Luke and Ben, or you know, like Snoke actually having like some sort of physical presence in front of, you know, Ben Solo when he's young.
Yeah, let's talk about Snoke for a second, because who is he? Like, has he ever been referenced ever, or did he come out of nowhere? Does anybody know who he is?
Luke and Leia's son. Sorry, Han and Leia's son.
Snoke?
Snoke.
Oh, Snoke. Sorry, I thought you said Ben.
No.
Like,
Snoke.
what? Yeah,
No,
duh.
like, where did he? No. Where did Snoke come from? Like,
We don't know.
he's just some
We don't
random
know.
dude that just rules over everybody.
Well, when Emperor Palpatine was destroyed, the Empire wasn't destroyed. The last remaining Sith was destroyed,
Come
but
on. Yeah.
the Empire wasn't destroyed. So the First Order is just a faction of the Empire that got fragmented after the Emperor died, and Snoke is the supreme leader of the First Order.
Yeah.
But no, he has never been referenced before. There are rumors that he is actually Darth Plagueis, because he looks, and Darth Plagueis was Palpatine's master, and that's not extended universe. Like that is referred to in Episode 3, and
He's never shown.
No, Palpatine tells Anakin the story of Darth Plagueis and how Darth Plagueis could create life, and almost like a form of resurrection, and like could never die. And then Palpatine kills him, which is often the case with Sith, is that the apprentice kills the master. So Palpatine kills Plagueis, but then there are rumors, not rumors, but there's a theory that something like Palpatine creates Anakin, and Anakin is Darth. So, sorry, Darth Plagueis gives life to Anakin's mother, because if you remember in Episode 1, when Qui-Gon says, "Who's the father?" the Anakin's mother says, "There was no father." So it's thought among people that Darth Plagueis basically created Anakin Skywalker out of nothing, because that was an ability that he had.
He knocked that bitch up. That happened. Canon.
Right.
Canon. He
planted
it.
So that's why the Skywalkers are so powerful, and why Anakin, was easily seduced. But yeah, Snoke, as far as we know right now, movie canon is just brand new.
Just some random dude that's like, I oversee everything. I look like fucking Gollum from Lord of the Rings. I sit on this fucking throne, and I look down on you. And John made a funny point. It'd be funny if they did a Wizard of Oz move, and that Snoke was really like a fucking midget. It was really small.
He's got to be. He absolutely has to be.
Yeah, I mean, why would you portray yourself that big in a hologram status? You know what I mean?
So you're towering over everybody, yeah.
Personal issue.
That would be hilarious. So if what if he was like the size of Gollum and fucking just crawled around on shit, and he just sat on a throne? But where's he at? I remember he said he told the general or whoever it was to bring Ben and come to me. Did he ever reference where they're at?
I don't think so.
Oh, nope.
I'm assuming on some. It might be that the planet from Star Wars: The Old Republic, the Sith planet, where a lot of the Sith temples are. It could be that, if that's considered canon.
You know, it's a possibility that maybe Kylo wasn't the one that destroyed all those other Jedi.
It's possible.
In training. Maybe there's a mysterious figure in the shadows.
Yeah, it could be Benicio del Toro in the
maybe
movie.
You saw that.
He's supposed to be playing a new villain, I guess.
Is he really?
Yeah, that's what it's being keyed as in the new script.
Oh, because they did a skit on SNL a few weeks ago, where it was like fake auditions for episode 7.
Oh yeah,
and one of the guys did Benicio del Toro. I thought that was a joke.
Hilarious. No, he's in the new movie, and I guess he's what's funny was he said something about it though, but he's rumored to be the villain. But he made a tweet about something about that, like when he read the script, he says, "I don't know if he's the villain." Or talking about his character, he says, "I don't know if he's a villain. People are saying that, but it's like they read a different script than I had read. It's nice to keep people in the dark. A little bit of mystery is good. If they want to believe it's this guy's a villain, then good." So he thinks that this guy's like fucking pretty cool or whatnot.
Cool.
So I like that. I like that he's doing that. He's like getting people to think.
Yeah, that would be interesting if they brought a new character in like that. Like that actually was the one that slaughtered everybody. But what if you think, just for a second, what if it was Rey? Now, just think.
I see what you're saying.
Just think
like an amnesia thing.
Remember she's on that other planet. Maybe they like fucking put her there because she did all that. Maybe they threw her there. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
I don't like it, but
remember she got sent there, but like that's where they sent her after she did all that. And
you're going too much Jason Bourne here.
Yeah.
And then that's why. Remember, wait, hold on, real quick. Remember when Luke turned around and he was like, "Oh fuck," when he saw her? Like, what if that's like, "Oh fuck," like she killed everybody,
here to kill me.
And she just showed up. He looked pretty fucking.
She's here to finish the job.
I think that expression is like, "How the fuck did this bitch find me?"
No, he had that song, Billie Jean, not my love.
God.
Okay, don't show that on YouTube.
Oh, cut that. No, I'm kidding. But that's just, of course, I don't know shit, and I just think, who knows?
No, I don't think that's it. Although I am curious.
Remember, I called Solo dying.
You did. You called that.
Oh, that was predictable, dude. That was so predictable.
I didn't hear anybody else say that.
Even my wife was telling me. My wife said, "Oh, that's so predictable," and I don't really See her.
Well, that
in a
was
huge Star
predictable
Wars fan.
after like Snoke says, "Hey,
Yeah.
Kylo Ren, you're gonna have to face your father." I mean, that after that, it was
Yeah.
a done deal.
I'm talking
It was
before the
sealed.
movie. Before the movie,
Yeah.
I was like, Solo's gonna
Yeah.
die.
Yeah, you did say that.
But yeah,
Um,
definitely. Once we got in the movie, you're like, okay, that fucker's dead.
Well, that sort of feeds into what I was saying earlier is of how like the way this movie was written is that it leaves so much for episode 8 and 9 to like answer to, and it like leaves a lot of things open for us to wonder about. And that whole thing with Rey being dropped off on Jakku and like
Yeah.
waiting for
Like,
her
who was
family to
taken
come
from her?
back.
A lot
Yeah,
of
like-
questions.
It seems like a brother, or I don't even know if a father was taken from her.
Yeah.
But
I also want to bring this up. I was talking to John about this right after we seen it. Do you guys remember when she walked down into the basement and she saw the
Oh,
lightsaber
yeah.
and she had her flashbacks? There was a lot of those little scenes where I thought may have been I don't know if you say flash forwards, but something that's going to happen in the movies to come when she was down on her knees in front of Ben, who was all in his whole Kylo Ren get up, and had the like lightsaber with the stormtroopers behind him. Do you remember seeing that little flash in there?
you're talking about when like he's got his little like entourage behind him.
Yeah,
the wind,
and
and he's
she's
standing there.
and she's down on her knees right in front of him, and he's standing over top of her. It like that obviously didn't happen in the movie, and all the others. There was a lot of scenes where like those things did happen. So I'm thinking maybe that might be something that does happen as we go into
I
the
think
other
that
movies.
was I think that was a collage of flashbacks and flash forwards that was just overwhelming her, and just she was
Yeah.
getting too much of more than she could handle.
Had
Mhm.
she seen Kylo Ren at that point?
No,
I
don't think so.
No. She didn't
Hmm.
get anything at that point. That was the first time we ever like witnessed that she may be something to do with the Force, I believe.
That's interesting because I didn't realize that she hadn't seen Kylo Ren at that point. So how would she know what to think?
Yeah, she wouldn't know what he looked like or anything.
Okay.
But who
Now
knows?
I sort of buy into your theory a little bit more. I
Well, I
wasn't
mean-
thinking that at the time of us talking about that.
No.
Apparently, Ewan McGregor has a little voice cameo in that flashback, though.
Does he? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Man, that's
And,
another
and
thing. I was
Yoda.
mad
Brad
about.
heard Yoda. My friend Brad, he heard Yoda.
Yeah, I didn't hear Yoda. I heard like kids crying. Or something. Somebody was yelling help. Or what was that? The thing that actually lured her down there? Were that kids crying or screaming or something? I felt
It was a girl screaming.
a girl. Oh, the girl. Okay,
Yeah.
It was obviously her as a child.
Yeah.
maybe.
Like
I
something
don't
was
know.
being something like really important was being taken away from her,
Yeah.
or
Hey,
maybe
no, I'm
she
seeing it
was
again on Wednesday. So
maybe
I'm
she
definitely
was
gonna-
being abandoned, dropped
Yeah.
off. I mean, because look, why would you stay on Jakku?
She was
you know?
waiting. She kept saying, "I'm waiting
She
for
was
them to come
waiting for
back."
someone.
And
Waiting for
that
someone to come
one,
back.
that one little fucking troll girl. She's like, "Hey, they're not coming back."
You
The girl
know,
with
it
the
could
goggles.
be she could have been left because they either like maybe say she's Luke's daughter, right?
Mhm.
Okay, and then the shit that happens that kills the people he's training happens, and he's
Mhm.
like, man, I gotta go, and he can't have fucking daughter with him because they could take her and then train her become part of the dark side.
Yeah.
How they kind of separated the two twins in what was it, episode 3?
Mhm.
But
So
and I may be misunderstanding you. How can that have happened? You're saying that happened 30 years ago? I'm confused.
Who are you talking
Well,
to?
Ben
Tra-
and
what
Ray seem
Travis
to be the
was
same
saying.
age.
yeah, let me. All I'm saying is like okay, say for instance that she's like Luke's daughter, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't have to happen 30 years ago, right? It had to happen like say probably like about 20 years ago or something like that. She looks like
Yeah,
20
she
years.
don't. Yeah, she don't look 30.
Yeah. Like hey, he's probably had to talk to some chicks, and then be
Who's
able
the
to
Who's
get
the
it.
mom? Who's the mom though?
And, well, I mean,
Or Jade, probably not.
yeah,
but-
RJ,
Who?
Well, I mean, what I'm just trying to say is this, like, the same scenario, they gotta get the kids away so they don't get, influenced by the dark side, all that stuff, become agents of the Empire, or not agents of the Empire, but agents of the dark side,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So, and to do that is, you gotta keep them away from Luke, so...
And I remember you were
If he's-
saying Kylo Ren in this movie wasn't as bad as Anakin. Is that what you were saying, Troll? I remember saying
I
something
was
about
saying,
that.
I was
I don't
saying
think
that
so.
Kylo Ren
way, dude.
wasn't as
Anakin's
know-
killing kids.
Yeah, Anakin's slaughtering children like who have no way of escaping. Like the door shuts behind him, and he's like, "Y'all are fucking dead."
No, I think he's not as
He's not as
like
bitchy
an
or something.
That's
adolescent as
because
Anakin
he has
Skywalker.
like the outside influence that Kylo is getting is just, it's like they're ham fisting it into him.
Yeah, whereas
well-
Anakin was more like tricked.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Okay,
Mhm,
keep in also mind his upbringing too, because like Anakin, grew up in a hard life with his mother being a slave and him being a slave,
Mhm.
and then he gets thrusted into being a part of, a training class for the Jedi, right off the
Right.
bat. So strict discipline and all that stuff, and then he doesn't really have like a childhood, whereas he's Kylo Ren, he grows up, being Han Solo and Leia Organa's son.
But he still
Yeah.
has Skywalker blood in him.
He still has Skywalker
Right, but what
blood.
he's saying is that it's a very
upbringing.
different upbringing condition.
But that's because I think they're
He's a spoiled
the
fuck.
Empire / First Order is like, okay, we're going to just be straightforward with you. We're not going to trick you like we tricked your grandfather, and because we saw how that turned out, and
Well,
that-
that's also another thing was that like I have a feeling that Kylo Ren does not know the end of Darth Vader. Like I don't think he knows what actually happened to him.
Mhm.
Because at the end of Return of the Jedi, he's redeemed. Like he becomes Anakin Skywalker again, and he is like
Mhm.
he's the one who kills Emperor Palpatine. Like Luke Skywalker is about to die,
yeah, oh yeah.
and Darth Vader's like, nope. It's like
Never have
really?
enough.
Fucking military press.
But I don't think that Luke ever told anybody
No,
that
I mean,
that's
I
how it
think
ended.
Luke,
Hey,
And
you gotta
for
think-
that reason, Kylo Ren is like so obsessed with Darth Vader because he thinks that Luke killed him, and that Vader really had the right idea. Even though at the end, Vader tells Luke like, "Tell your sister you were right about me. Like you were right." That those were his last words, and he was turned back to the light side. So I don't think Kylo Ren knows that.
There's another thing that beats me up about this whole series. Oh, looks like you're going to say something, John. Go ahead.
No, good.
Okay, another thing that beats me up about this whole series is that you don't see Obi-Wan, Yoda, Anakin, Force Ghosts at all. I mean,
You mean
Like-
this movie?
yeah. I mean, I was like,
I'm okay.
they could have been chilling on the freaking island at the end having pina coladas or something. I mean, I would have been like cool with that. At least I'd be like, yo, I mean, come on, man.
I don't think it's necessary at this stage. I think in 8 and 9 maybe, but I also think there's a couple of problems. So Yoda, I have no problem with being a Force ghost, but you have a problem with Anakin and Obi-Wan because Alec Guinness is dead, as is the actor who played Anakin Skywalker, the original Anakin Skywalker in Return of the Jedi. Both those actors are dead.
Yeah.
So bringing Ewan McGregor back to be Obi-Wan as a Force ghost sort of goes against the Force ghost that Luke sees in Empire and Return of the Jedi. So, like, changing that character's actor is tough. And if they really need to use Obi-Wan as a Force ghost, like, to really, like, move a story arc along or something, then that's their only choice. Bringing in Anakin, putting Hayden Christensen in another Star Wars film
Yeah.
is
was
not a good
terrible.
idea.
Okay,
Holy
I
shit.
give you that much. I give you that one right there.
I wonder if
But,
he would
I
do
mean,
it.
I
I
don't
mean-
mind Ewan McGregor. Like, I'm a very
Yeah.
big fan of Ewan McGregor as an actor in general.
Oh, he was
So
great. Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be super against him appearing as Obi-Wan, but I think it would just sort of be weird given the fact that in Empire and Return of the Jedi, Alec Guinness is the Force Ghost.
yeah.
And that's who
I
Luke
think
was speaking to.
I think you could actually thank George Lucas for 6 when he remade those, because he did have, freaking Hayden Christensen, freaking as Anakin in that movie. He
Mhm.
also had freaking what's else? Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan in that
No, he
movie
didn't.
too. I'm pretty sure he did.
He had Christensen.
He did not have, I guarantee you. I'll look it up right now, but
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I've
did.
watched that
I'm gonna-
ending
I'm
a
probably
whole
gonna
bunch
eat
of
this
times.
one.
I don't think that Ewan McGregor was there. I think it was still Alec Guinness.
I don't think McGregor was there, but I Christensen was there.
Oh, yes, he absolutely was.
Yeah. Yeah, he
that's,
was there.
that's without a doubt, yes.
But
Let me look right now. This is the Blu-ray ending. Hold on.
Yeah, I guess.
wait, you guys,
Definitely
have,
gotta have
I'm
that
pretty
money.
sure he was.
how do you guys have it loaded up that quick?
Because I know exactly what to look for.
Jesus, that was like. But I mean, how did you load up the Blu-ray that fast? That was insane.
No, it's on YouTube. No, it's Alec Guinness.
Yeah, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's Anakin, Yoda, and Alec Guinness.
Okay.
Or
Oh,
Hayden Christensen.
Yoda and his cross-eyed self.
yeah, but they got
Yoda.
Hayden Christensen in there, which is pretty beat up.
I mean, I feel like the fact that since Lucas no longer has any involvement in it,
Thank God.
it was like a brand new script, and
A great script.
This film was done by people who respected Star Wars
It was.
and did not force feed you any story. It was all shown to you. The characters developed over time.
Right.
I strongly believe they know better than to put Hayden Christensen in another Star Wars film.
Yeah.
Then
believe so.
I don't. If they don't do it, then I don't think they just can't put him in.
Yeah, right. Then they cannot use Force Ghosts.
I don't believe.
Yeah.
Well,
Ewan McGregor is sort of the only stretch. Yoda, obviously, you can do whatever you want because tons of people can do Yoda's voice. That's not a hard thing. But Ewan McGregor is the only stretch, and it's a stretch I'd be okay with. But it would really, it would be a little weird. It would be strange, but I'd be okay with it.
I would not be opposed if they put Hayden in there.
You're crazy.
You're
it-
the person that loves fucking Dawson's Creek too.
No,
okay?
no,
Controlling.
you better shut your mouth. No, I don't like that. Anyway, if they use him as that, they don't have anybody else. If they needed to
So
do
don't
it,
use him.
I wouldn't have. I mean, if they needed to do it for any like specific storyline wise, if they needed it, because how are they going to do this without using anything with Vader? They're going to have to do something at some point. They're going to have to reference him or show him somehow. Somewhere.
If Kylo Ren somehow turns back to the light side in episode 8 or 9, that would be about the only time I would ever need it. But I don't think it's necessary for Anakin Skywalker to, in any capacity, to appear
I don't think it's
in
necessary.
this.
But I'm saying if they did bring him back for that, I would not be like, no.
I don't
fuck
even want
this
to. I don't
movie."
even want to entertain the thought.
Okay.
Like. I don't think Hayden Christensen is a terrible actor, and I've said this so
What?
many times. No, I'm serious because every actor in that movie, maybe aside from Ewan McGregor, does a horrible job in those 3 films.
Yeah,
It is
I agree.
over-directed. It is written poorly. If you watch any behind-the-scenes footage of Episode 3, George Lucas is force-feeding everyone lines. And there are so many clips of George Lucas talking to Hayden Christensen and being like, this is what Anakin's feeling right now. This is how he's going to be saying this. It's like, why not just let the actor act and figure the character out? Like,
Yeah.
and that's why so many lines of that movie, dude, Natalie Portman is an Oscar-winning actress. You're breaking my heart. Like, what? Horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, you're right.
So I give Hayden Christensen some credit because he was good in other movies. And so like it's just so tough putting him in Star Wars because people hate him so much. Jar Jar Binks, terrible character. Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, not 100% his fault.
Yeah.
But I just think I'll put it this way. I would equate putting Hayden Christensen on the screen in 8 and 9 to be as bad as putting Jar Jar Binks in any of these movies.
See,
I hope that shit does not happen.
I already gave you my opinion on Jar Jar Binks, so I don't think he's the worst thing that's ever happened. I don't.
Oh my god.
He's not good, but I don't hate him as like everybody else completely despises him. And
Like you're saying how like a lot of the stuff like Lucas like was like driving like lines and stuff like that, and then when Disney bought the right or he sold it to Disney, and they first said that we're making new movies. George was actually a creative consultant to and also / writer for the new movies.
Well, I know he gave them his scripts because 7,
Yeah.
8, 9 have been written for a long time.
Yeah, they have been. And so they looked at it, and there was like a Vanity Fair article discussing this. Pretty much like he says pretty much the issue was ultimately that they looked at the stories and said, we want to make something for the fans. People don't actually realize it actually is a soap opera, and it's all about the family problems, and it's not about spaceships. So they decided they didn't want to use those stories, and they decided that they were going to go their own thing. So he decided that was fine.
Is that implying that Lucas's scripts were more about the family?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and that's kind of true. I mean, a lot of family problems. Like holidays with food always have problems. Always have.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, the genre is space opera.
Yeah. So, they decided to go their own route. And, even J.J. Abrams said, when he got on board, it was pretty obvious that they wanted to go a different direction from what George has written. So he pretty much knew what was going on, like, right from the get-go.
Yeah, I think there's just too much hate on Lucas and anything Lucas could do because of he, like, butchered Return of the Jedi in the HD release.
Yeah.
And the prequels were just so bad. Comparatively, and it's because he had like I don't really care. We'll get into this when we do rankings, but like I'm not a huge fan of A New Hope, and like that's the only one that he directed.
Yeah,
and again, stilted acting, weird line delivery, and it's like the same problem happened in the '90s and the 2000s with the prequels. Is like he's not a good director.
That old fossil,
Yeah, it's just not good.
So
not good directing.
Did they completely cut him off? Was he like completely cut out of it?
Oh yeah, he had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, he was done. He just put a dagger in that.
Did they at least pay the man for his shit?
Well, yeah, I mean they paid him for the rights to Lucasfilm and everything, but
well, I mean they also I've had him on payroll for his creative consultant work, but after they let him go, he was done. He's
so like he never even like seen. I mean, I'm sure they probably seen the script, but well, I don't know. Maybe they didn't see the script. But
I would have to assume that as far as being a creative consultant, that he sort of like helped build the worlds and like named things, but I can't imagine that they put faith in him to write a script or to even like help on a script.
So do you think they'll like even go to him for anything?
I pray to God they don't.
Like I'm talking about like you said for like names of stuff. Do you think they'll even go to him for that?
I really doubt it now since they're kind of like making their own like
Point, they don't.
There's a ton of authors who are doing things in the extended universe without his consultancy, and they were creating worlds and they were creating planets and characters. So why bother?
Okay. Yeah.
Plus, the way the story is written right now, there's so many holes that need to be filled. So you already have writing content right there waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be, I don't want to say easy, but I mean the writers. I'm sure there's already scripts, drafts already written up.
Mm-hmm.
Fan fiction.
We know you're all over that shit.
No,
we know Travis is all over that shit.
Do not hate. Just because I like the Harry Potter fan fiction.
What do you guys want to get into rankings now?
Sure.
Yeah.
I
don't have a lot to explain on mine. I'm just.
Okay.
Just to let you know, Jake, we are just crossing over an hour.
Oh. Okay.
So if we want
that's not bad.
just letting you know, if we're gonna have another 2.5 hour episode.
No, we're good. All right. Well, first of all, let's get into it. Yeah. So we're gonna start things off. The order we're gonna do this in, we're gonna go John, Ricochet, Troll, and then I'll give mine.
Okay.
But, so basically, John, give us your rankings on the entire Star Wars franchise up to this point, Episode 7. The rankings on your most favorite to least favorite in the entire series.
Okay, so it would be Return of the Jedi, very close second, if not tied, is Empire Strikes Back, Force Awakens, A New Hope, Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones.
Okay, so I'm the only one that has everybody's list here. So I do have to. You're the only person that put Return of the Jedi as your number one favorite movie. So
that does not surprise me.
I gotta hear about
Where'd
this.
you put the new movie at?
Number 3.
Third above.
Okay.
So it's Return of the Jedi, very close second, if not tied, Empire Strikes Back, and then Force Awakens, A New Hope. So the reason that I like Return of the Jedi, it's honestly, it's just more memorable to me in certain ways. And a lot of it has to do with nostalgia and being a kid when I first saw it, because when in the 90s, when they announced that they were doing a prequel trilogy, they re-released the original trilogy with changes in the theaters. And I went and saw those with my dad. And I have very, very like fond memories of seeing Return of the Jedi with my dad. And the sound of Luke's lightsaber turning on in that movie, the sound of the speeder bikes on Endor, the environments, like there's just so much going on in that movie, and like the stakes are so high. You see Luke riding the line between Jedi and Sith. He force chokes someone. He's wearing all black throughout the entire movie.
That's true.
Like, he's doing some things that he probably shouldn't be doing. He gives in to the dark side towards the end when he's fighting Darth Vader, and then he stops. Like he proves like you can do this. Like you can ride that line, and he becomes like that. Like I believe the term is like a gray Jedi, kind of like Qui-Gon Jinn. Like Qui-Gon Jinn fights with a lot of aggression. He doesn't always go by the Jedi Council. Like he sort of does what he feels is right, and without becoming evil. So. Mm-hmm. For that reason, I Return of the Jedi, there's something about it. The Death Star run is just unbelievable. I watch that all the time, of Lando flying through the Death Star and taking it out. And the sequence is just so good. And that whole ending, like the two things are happening at the same exact time. And that often happens in a lot of movies where like when you have so many characters, they're showing resolutions happening at the same time. Because in Empire Strikes Back, when Luke is fighting Vader at the carbonite chamber and on the scaffold raft or whatever it is, while that's happening, Lando, Leia, and Chewie and the droids are escaping and trying to like tail Boba Fett. And then in Return of the Jedi, when Lando's on the Death Star run, Luke is fighting Vader and the Emperor. So like two things are happening at once, but the stakes are just so much higher in Return of the Jedi that it gets me more excited to watch. And Empire does a lot. Like, it sets up so much because, like I said earlier, like, A New Hope was never meant to have a sequel. Like, this was not meant to be a trilogy. So they had so much work to do in Empire Strikes Back to set up the third movie and to, like, add more to the mythos and expand on these characters. And there's, like, a lot of, like, not downtime, but, like, how long are Leia, Han, Chewie, and the droids like in that asteroid field? Like that's like almost like 30 minutes, like of just a lot of dialogue, a lot of emotion, like exposition, like not exposition, but like that's when Han and Leia first kiss is like like while all that's happening, it's a little slow, and I respect that it's slow, but I respect the pacing and the frenetic energy of Return of the Jedi a little bit more than I do the slow pace of Empire. They're both very good, and they are basically tied for the top spot, but Return of the Jedi just sort of edges it over because of when Luke first turns on his lightsaber on Jabba's sail barge. It just, like, it makes my hair stand on end.
So is that the one thing? That's the thing right there that edges it out, basically?
Like,
is that one just turning on the lightsaber?
That sound is just so powerful. It, like, screams when it comes out. And then, like, the fanfare comes on, and it's just, gets hype.
Okay.
And like they're like Han is trying to like rescue Lando from the Sarlacc pit from sliding down, and he's like, "I thought you were blind." He's like, "No, I can see a lot better now. It's fine." like it's just so good. So yeah, it's really the stakes and the energy of Return of the Jedi that just push it over that edge of Empire.
Okay, I mean I hear you. So,
and I also don't have a problem with Ewoks. I thought that was fine.
Me neither. You know what? Me neither. I've been saying that too. I've never really had a problem with Ewoks. Ricochet, Travis, you guys have any problem with Ewoks?
They're fine.
I'm okay with them.
Really?
It could be also because, I mean, I saw Return of the Jedi, like, I think I was like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. Like 8 at the oldest was the first time I saw Return of the Jedi. So I wasn't completely out of the teddy bear phase. So maybe that's why I don't have such
maybe
a
did that?
problem.
They went over some kids too for the
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, it was to make it a bit more family friendly. But then you have like really crazy things happening in Return of the Jedi. You have forest troopers crashing into trees and dying.
That's
like
pretty awesome.
people blowing up. You have Ewoks dying, and then like I'll never forget this. Like one of the Ewoks dies, and then if like his wife Ewok or whatever like comes over and like cries over his body.
Oh, I
like,
remember
that's
that.
so morbid. And it's like they add these fur balls. Yeah, they like add these fur balls to become more family friendly, and then they're getting slaughtered. Like that's why I don't have a huge problem with them.
Furby genocide.
Because they have real stuff going on Endor. Like
And-
the stakes are high, things are real, teddy bears are dying.
You know
So
what?
I don't have a huge problem.
I just thought of something. Throughout the entire series, Well, the first 6 movies, has there ever been blood shown?
A couple of times.
I never remember
Actually,
seeing
New
blood.
Hope,
Empire
when
has
the guy had his arm cut off by Obi-Wan in the bar.
yeah. Oh
Just a
yeah.
little bit,
He's like leak.
that's the first time. Yeah, he was done.
Okay.
He was done.
Okay.
That I think that's before they made it that lightsabers cauterize wounds.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
Okay.
before they. But yeah, that dude is like leaking fruit punch, like blood everywhere on that floor. And then again
Okay.
in episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, when Luke gets attacked by the Wampa,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
there's blood all over the place.
Yeah, he looked
Okay.
like you when you went to Charlotte the first time, man.
Hey, motherfucker. But
Heard about that story just recently.
that's a rough story.
You should
But,
show a picture of that on YouTube.
No pictures will be shown.
That'll be the
Okay.
thumbnail.
Yeah.
I thought this was a Star Wars episode.
Yeah, what the hell? But the reason I asked that is because they did show blood in this movie, Force Awakens, and it
Did they?
was yeah, and it was small at the beginning. It's when the stormtrooper wiped the blood on Finn's helmet.
Oh yeah.
No, but they also showed it when Kylo Ren, when he was fighting Finn.
Oh, he's like punching his chest, like getting
Yeah, he's
blood
like-
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it like falls into the snow. Yep.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. I don't remember ever seeing blood in the rest of the movies. That's why I was asking. But I guess
It's not like that. It's
Yeah.
never. I mean, aside from A New Hope with the arm,
yeah, it was a
it's
little more
never-
gritty, kind of blood.
no one's ever like dripping blood.
Yeah.
That was pretty hardcore.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, there's just one thing that I just thought of just a second ago. But anyway, Rico, you ready? Ricochet. Sorry, I keep saying Rico. I know you don't hate. I know you hate Rico. Sorry, Ricochet.
All right, man. That's no big deal.
All right.
All right, I have obviously Empire Strikes Back coming in as number 1.
Mhm.
I think I put
You got Force Awakens number 2.
Force Awakens number 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
And
And
here
I
it
have
is.
A New Hope number
New
3.
Hope number 3.
Return of the Jedi number 4.
Number 4.
And then Episode 3, Phantom Menace, and I think obviously Attack of the Clones is
Last. Yeah.
last.
Yeah.
So
Wow, you
I,
put A New Hope above Return of the Jedi. I've got to
Yeah,
hear
that's-
this.
That's rough, man. That's
I gotta
rough.
know. I gotta know the reason.
I just think because I saw A New Hope like way young, and I was so into it, and then I saw Empire Strikes Back at a later age, and man, that was just so dark, so good. I mean, you had so many elements going on. The whole sci-fi of Yoda training Luke on I think it's Yoda's home planet. I can't remember the name of the
Dagobah.
planet. Yeah. That whole scene where Luke's still figuring out the Force and controlling his emotions. You know,
Stacking the
he's getting
rocks.
frustrated. Yeah, stacking the rocks. Just toning the Force control. That was really cool to see. I'm glad they really went into that. And then just that Darth Vader and Luke sequence. You know, you never forget that moment. You guys know what moment I'm talking about. Everybody
Yeah,
knows the
It's not a spoiler at
infamous
this point.
moment.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that coming.
I am your father.
And it's not really that. It's just the look on Luke's face.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to believe it.
Well, isn't it? Something funny about the look on his face is that line wasn't even said.
Yeah.
That
Right.
wasn't put into the voiceover.
Really?
Nobody knew what was going on. Like James Earl Jones, when he read that, he was like, "That's some fucked up shit."
Yeah, no one knew until the premiere.
Yeah.
So
I
why
didn't
did
know
why did he yell no then? That was just
They
Well-
probably had him say something
Yeah.
else.
I mean,
Yeah.
they had the guy that was playing Darth Vader, just say someone else, and he was reacting to it.
Gotcha.
He told me you killed him. Oh
Yeah.
god, Luke's voice during that is just so dirty.
Yeah.
He told me you killed him. It's like, oh god, who are you?
So basically, you put A New Hope above Return of the Jedi because of basically.
Yeah, why? You still haven't said.
I don't know, man. That's just the first. I have my biased opinion on A New Hope just because it
Okay.
was the real introduction to Star Wars, and that's just
Okay.
what I'm.
That's fair. I mean, at this point, we're really going off nostalgia for the first few movies.
Right,
so.
and being that it's the first introduction is something you'll never forget as a child.
Okay.
And I think I've really only seen Return of the Jedi maybe once or twice. So I look at Sean's
Ooh.
face. I knew I was going to get
Oh
that.
my god,
Oh, man,
I've seen
really?
it like 40
Well,
times.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. As many times as we went on vacation, we always had the 3 Star Wars movies that we played on loop in the van when we would go on those vacations,
I don't
like
think
Ohio,
we
New York.
played. I don't think Return of the Jedi was the favorite in that.
No, maybe not. But
That was
I remember
last nap time.
I remember we always played the 3 Star Wars movies on our trips. That and Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, all those. But
Yeah.
but we always had the trilogy in there.
I put the Force Awakens #2, man, because it's new material and the fact that it's so well written.
Mhm.
It
So
makes
good.
up for the past 10 years of Star Wars.
Right.
That's
It's almost
easy.
like when you're reading a book that's so good you can't put the book down. It's like
Yes.
you keep wanting to turn the page to see what's going to happen.
And we
And
gotta
it-
wait 2 years, motherfucker. So
Yeah.
till you
And
turn that page.
we get
And when
Rogue
you leave
One,
it on a
but-
cliffhanger as she's finally found Luke and now what the fuck's going to happen?
Yeah.
Luke's
See, I
like-
would have respected it. I understand that we needed to see Luke. Like, I get it. I think it was a fine ending. I think it was great. But I
Right.
think it would have been so ballsy for them to end the movie on the Millennium Falcon flying away from the base
Yeah.
and just not even show Luke. I would have laughed. I would have laughed so hard
People-
because he wasn't in any promotional material. He wasn't on the poster. He wasn't on anything.
But you knew
Yeah.
he was in the movie because you had the article about he had to lose 50 pounds.
Damn, he
They-
lost 50 pounds and
He lost
still,
50 pounds.
he
I
still
didn't know
looked-
that.
Yeah, he had he was on a strict diet.
He still looked a
He
little
still
big.
looked fucking big.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, he looked pretty good. I think that was the beard stuff.
No. You saw his belly
He's got that
popping.
gut, man.
Dude, he's
Yeah.
not
That gut.
he's not an Empire Strikes Back form. An Empire
No,
Strikes
oh, I
Back
know.
was jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
But,
doing standing
think-
push-ups or
I think
headstand
that-
push-ups.
I think the ending for The Force Awakens, it would have been even better if it would have just went to fade to black as she's holding out the lightsaber. Like, is
And
it
you don't
is
see
is it him that she's looking at?
Yeah.
Is it him,
Oh, without him turning around? Or wait.
or
what do you
just
mean?
don't even show the silhouette of him? Just
Yeah.
the epiphany or the realization on her face and the
Oh,
outstretched
so you're
hand.
saying it shouldn't have showed him also.
Right?
But
Okay.
it should have ended with her holding out the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Just don't ever show.
This is yours. It's obviously Luke's
Yeah.
lightsaber.
I think people would have been pretty pissed if it would have ended when the fucking Millennium Falcon took off.
But
I
it's
think
like
they would
we're
have been
getting him in episode 8. Like we're
Oh,
getting
yeah.
him then.
Yes, we are.
So like whatever,
All right,
And I'm okay to wait.
Yeah, we're in this for the next 6 years. Like
Oh.
we're
And
in this for the long haul.
I think
Why
anything
not?
below the first 4 I mentioned are just cannon fodder. I don't even want to get into
The
that.
last 15 minutes of Revenge of the Sith is like the best prequel.
Revenge of the Sith and the Duel of the Fates scene.
Right. It's the lightsaber. It's Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader
Mhm.
and Obi-Wan Qui-Gon Jinn versus Darth Maul. Like
My
those
biggest-
are the best parts of those movies.
Uh-huh.
My biggest qualm about the Phantom Menace, I wish Darth Maul had more meaning.
yeah.
He did. It was cut.
Oh, well, okay, I didn't know
You read
that.
the
But I
books.
mean, like he didn't talk. He was just there for the martial arts and the badass lightsaber battles.
Ray Park. God,
Ray Park, man.
unbelievable.
So let's go to highest troll. What's your ranking? What's your how do they stack up?
Mine is similar to Elias's for a little bit there. I have Empire Strikes Back as being my favorite one out of all the series, even after watching 7.
Mhm.
I mean 7's really close to Empire Strikes Back, and so 7's my The Force Awakens is going to be my second most favorite, and then you got Return of the Jedi, real close as well.
Okay. Return of the
And then-
Jedi 3. Gotcha.
Then A New Hope coming in at 4th. Then you got the prequels.
Of
I got
course, the last 3.
yeah. I got Revenge of the Sith coming in at 5th. Phantom Menace is 6th, and then Attack of Clones is 7th.
So all 3 of you guys have the bottom 3 exactly the same order. 3-1-2, 3-1-2, 3-1-2.
Yeah, and then
given.
the reason why I love 5. I mean, there's so much drama. I mean, okay, so Disney shits on George Lucas for it being a lot of family problems and shit like that.
Mhm.
I mean, goddamn, these family problems make this movie fucking interesting.
Yeah, you can have those family problems, but you don't have to force feed it to people, which is what
Oh, yeah,
Lucas
that's
does. And like Disney, like he let I don't know if this is J.J. Abrams or the writers or whoever, but like this movie is allowed to breathe. Like
Yeah.
the story is told to you by you looking at it, not them telling you.
Yeah, and the fact that after A New Hope, he decided to go with a different route on a director. He actually invited his what was it, one of his teachers from UCL was a University of USC was Irvin Kershner to direct it, and he was like, man, I don't know if I could do this.
Yeah, and
But he ended up taking it. He did a wonderful job.
Did he also do Return of the Jedi?
No, he didn't. He didn't do Return of the Jedi. But
So they had 3 different directors then.
Yeah,
for the first
I don't know
one.
who directed Return of the Jedi, but
I'm gonna look that up real fast.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, he did a wonderful job. I mean, you know,
Richard Marquand.
okay, yeah. So I mean, just like, I think what really got me was that fight between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, and then it became a father versus son fight. Oh my God. That right there was like, that just put a whole bunch of depth into, that duel there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
And
only...
then,
oh, sorry. Keep
go
going. No, you go for it.
okay. And then like, and then like Han, he's like the ultimate scoundrel. And then, it just shows like, how chivalrous he could be. Like, he's like, he goes and he's going into like meet Darth Vader, and all of a sudden, like he goes to the doors and he sees Darth Vader, and he's like protecting Leia, and he's pulling out the gut blaster and he's blasting away, all that stuff, and that just kind of got to me as well,
Yeah. I also like in Empire when, like you were saying, like the fight between Luke and Vader, like he's coming to him untrained, like he shouldn't have left. Like Yoda told him, like you shouldn't leave. Like this isn't gonna work, and yet he like didn't listen to him, went anyway, and almost died for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it like the fight really like started as, can he actually do this? No, he can't. Like, it was so good.
And then also another thing is like like right when he leaves Dagobah, like Obi-Wan and like what was it, Yoda, he was talking about like he was our only hope, and then Yoda goes like, no, there's another. So that that hints to there being another person. You don't know who it is. It doesn't say like is it like his sister or whatnot. You don't know that it's Leia yet.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. I mean, that's like man, it just kind of opens up a whole new can of worms, a whole bunch of discussion. If there was like the internet back in the day, there would be definitely a whole bunch of freaking spoilers. Or not spoilers, but like hypothesis on who that person could have been or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we didn't find out that it was... When's the exact moment that we found out it was his sister? Is it the same time?
It's like 90 minutes into Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's not done till the 3rd movie.
It's actually not until almost at the end, because when Luke tells Leia that Vader is his, he just says Vader is my father, or something like that, and then he's like, do you remember your family, your real family? And then he like tells her to search for feelings. He never actually says we're brother and sister, and it's not until the Death Star blows up and Han and Leia are on the ground in Endor, Han turns to Leia and says, you don't think Luke was on that thing, do you? And then she goes, no. And then he says, how do you know? He said, because I could feel him. Like, I could feel him. And then that's when Han's like, oh, I get it. You guys have a good time together. Like, he thinks that they're...
Yeah, he's like, fuck you, bitch.
Right, but then she's like, no, he's my brother. Like, I think that's the first and only time it's actually said that they're brother and sister.
Well, no, because actually when Luke actually goes back to Dagobah, I think it was after they rescue Han, and then he goes back to Dagobah to talk to Yoda, and then Yoda goes like, there was 2 of you, and then it was Han. No, it was Obi-Wan that told him. Obi-Wan told him, and he was like, "There was 2 of you, but we had to keep you separated because of the Empire." And he goes like, he's like, it was your twin sister, and he's like, search your feelings, and he was like, oh, Leia's my sister,
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
So he discovers that then. So it was Obi-Wan that showed him that Leia was his sister.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that kind of puts a whole new spin on Empire Strikes Back, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
After you got out of the back of the tank,
Yeah, I mean, they made it out.
Yeah, they made out right from Han.
They didn't know. Not even the
Yep.
actors knew.
Nope.
right.
What about you, Jake? What's your ranking?
All right. Well, I haven't seen the first 3 movies in, I'd probably say, almost 10 years. It's been a really long time.
Oh, okay.
Since I've seen the originals.
Right.
4, 5, and 6. So I had to think pretty hard. And as I was thinking, I thought I was going to pick Return of the Jedi, but a lot of the stuff that I thought was from Return of the Jedi was actually in Empire Strikes Back. So,
like what?
Like believe it or not, I thought the father thing was in Return of the Jedi. Don't ask me why, how. It's been a long time. I thought that was in Return of the Jedi, and that's easily one of the top movie things I think ever in the history of cinema. That is one of the top scenes in any movie in cinema, and it's going to be hard. That's going to carry something so big anyway, right by itself. But the whole Yoda stuff, the training stuff, all that, like a lot of the fights, like what are those big mechanical fucking
AT-ATs?
Yeah, see, I thought that was Return of the Jedi stuff.
Well, I mean, there are ATSTs in Endor.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about when they do the tow cables and stuff.
That's the opening scene of.
I thought that was
15 minutes.
I thought that was the opening scene of Return of the Jedi. Like all the stuff that I thought was Return of the Jedi actually was Empire Strikes Back. It's really been like 10 years since I've seen them, and I probably should have rewatched some of them before we went and seen Force Awakens. But anyway, so my number 1 is Empire Strikes Back, and I thought it was going to be Return of the Jedi, but I was thinking of the wrong movie. Number 2, which I'm going to be honest with you, I had a very hard time putting this number 2. I almost put it number 1, Force Awakens, what we just seen. I kid you not, I could have put it down as number 1. I think overall, it was probably, this sounds stupid, but I think it was probably a better film from front to back. But it's not going to be as memorable as some of the scenes, as some of like I'm your father, all those kind of things. Those will stand the test of time. I don't think there's too many things in Force Awakens that will I'll remember 20 years from now.
Aside from Han Solo dying.
Well, God. That, and I'll probably think it was like episode 8 or something. But I think easily that from front to back overall, Force Awakens was just as good, if not better, than Empire Strikes Back. But it didn't have as high peaks as the other one did. Number 3, Return of the Jedi, because obviously there was the final scene of the Return of the Jedi is too damn good to not put in the top 3.
What are you talking about?
Battle of Heroes, man.
Outfit.
The what?
Oh, you're talking about 3?
Yeah, Return of the Jedi. Sorry, did I say episode 3? Sorry,
No,
Return of the Jedi. Episode 6, yeah. Yeah, so that's number 3 for me. That's my ranking number 3. Slave outfit. Number 4 is now. Okay. Listen, guys.
I know what you're about to say.
Okay.
I can't even see the overlay scene right now, and I know what you're about to say.
You know what I'm about to say.
You're going to say Attack of the Clones.
I'm going to say Phantom Menace.
I'm going to tell you right now, Attack of the Clones is my bottom. For everybody, we all put Attack of the Clones as the bottom. I can see the graphic. Everybody watch see the graphic. But if you're listening, I'm going to tell you right now, number 4, I went A New Hope. I went A New Hope for number 4.
Oh, that's my number 4 as well.
I know I actually have the same exact pattern as Troll. I have the same rankings as Troll.
I thought you were about to say Phantom Menace.
No. Yeah. I almost put Revenge of the Sith as number 4.
Oh my god, I would have.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding you. That whole fight scene at the end between Obi-Wan and Anakin, one of the best.
Badass.
That is the best lightsaber fight in existence.
That's what I'm about to say. I think that's the best. That is the best fight scene in the entire series, the whole franchise. So that's hard to put that so far down. But overall,
You will try.
Yeah, I don't think
for my new empire. Shut up and fight.
Power.
Shut up and fight.
Yeah, I don't think I could have been on the show anymore.
You don't need to talk about this. Like, you don't need to talk in this scene. Just shut up and fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been waiting 8 years for you to do this. Just do it.
So
Yeah,
everybody
freaking-
listening, just to give a rundown: Empire Strikes Back, Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones. For me, we all three of us, unanimous decision all the way down.
All four of us.
Did I say 3? 4. All four of us. Sorry, all four of us. 3, 2, 1. Episodes 3, 2, 1 for our final 3. They
3,
all.
1, 2.
God damn it. Okay, sorry. Let me 3, 1, 2. Yes. 3, 1, 2, sorry. 3, 1, 2 for our bottom picks, everybody. So I'm glad we're all in agreement with that.
I still can't believe, Elias, you put.
I gotta watch more of the Return of the Jedi.
God,
I'm pretty
it's
sure,
so
pretty
good.
sure it may change if I watched the movie a lot.
Do you have a VCR?
Who still has it on VCR?
Oh my God. I got a VCR.
I have my VHS set from
I
1996.
I do have at my
I have my VHS set too, the gold box, and
No, don't watch that one. I'll show you the one I have. Hang on. Keep talking.
yeah, my parents have the VHS tapes obviously still. I could get it from them, but no, if you want
I got my own modified versions.
Oh, you got the updated ones, the new
No, I
editions?
got the Blu-ray that was re-released, but I also got the ones that were altered before they were gold box and shit like that.
Okay.
yeah,
Before they even had the re-releases out. So
Yeah, that's the ones that we were watching before the gold, before they updated them and anything. But
I just read something on Internet Movie Database that
what's up?
could
Okay,
be a topic on another show. But
It's not where I thought it was.
I'll bring it
Now
up
we
at
have
the
a
end.
problem.
oh,
What's that?
Shit.
I don't know where my VHSs are.
uh-oh.
It's not where I thought it was. Wrong. Looks like we searched
Sounds
this
like,
ass tonight.
sounds like you need Tony Chu on the case.
Who?
I don't know. Who the hell's that?
Tony Chu is the main character from the comic series Chu,
Oh, okay.
Image Comics. Chu
Yeah,
is
where he puts stuff in his mouth and he can see what's going
Right.
on. Yeah.
right.
Oh, CHEW.
yes.
Oh.
He chews on things and he gets like the historical background of them, who has touched them, and things like that. Yeah, they're making that into a TV miniseries.
Oh shit.
Gotcha.
Here we go.
The lead character that has been
Is that what you're talking about right now? I thought you said we
Yeah.
could talk about this on another episode.
I was just gonna end the show with it. But that's fine.
Well, the VHSs that I have are from 95 or 96. And they're
I have
the
those.
only thing. Yeah, the only
Yeah.
thing that are changed is it's better sound and better picture.
Yeah.
No special effects added, no CG, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just like an enhanced version. It's like to me, it's like the best version of the original series.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much our rankings on where everything falls. Most of us are pretty much the same, except for John throwing out Return of the Jedi as number 1.
Yeah,
And then
I'm
Elias.
always in the minority of that.
That's nice.
Nice.
Oh, I think Elias is a little
Yeah, it's a little
crazier.
Far-fetched.
I mean, I don't think he's that far off. I can see exactly what he says. I can see what he means. I'm about that with some stuff. Like a lot of people
not enough TV time with Return of the Jedi. That's
Like-
all it is.
a lot of people in the Terminator franchise, they think number 1's better than number 2.
That's such a deadlock to me.
See, I watched Terminator 2 before I seen Terminator 1, and
Yeah,
I
same
think,
here.
and to me, usually one of the first thing you see, I think that was better than Part 1. But
I think Terminator
there's a
2.
lot that think Part 1's better.
Not to get on like a side tangent, but like I think 2 is just a more polished Terminator. 1.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like those special effects, I don't know what James Cameron was smoking at the time, but the T-1000 to this day still looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, how does something from 1995, 94
Mhm.
like still look that good?
Dude, look at
Avatar.
Predator.
Well, that was practical.
Avatar.
I know.
Predator, man. Predator was great.
Well, Predator is a practical effect though.
Yeah.
Aside from the, I mean, the stealth camo is a little goofy these days, but I mean, dude, like the T-1000 in liquid form
Yeah.
is unreal.
Mm.
Yeah, and they
It's
frozen
still amazing.
the freaking what you call it?
CO2.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was pretty sweet. Yeah.
He melted.
All right, back on the Star Wars topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, no, that's good. So basically, those are our rankings where we throw everything in. But I wanted to talk about real quick What's up with the Star Wars haters out there right now? Have you guys experienced this yet?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
at work.
I had someone on Twitter when I was in the airport yesterday, coming home to
Mhm.
New York, asking me like what my opinion was on Force Awakens. I gave it, and he like disagreed so hard that I felt like he watched this movie looking for things to hate.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't think anything about Force Awakens was good. Like he couldn't find a single thing to like about it, and he said that it was such a huge disappointment.
I haven't seen anybody that's seen the movie been disappointed about it.
Yeah,
Really?
it's like I just and like fine, you're entitled to your opinion. That's I mean, you don't have to like
Only if
everything.
they've seen the movie.
Well, no, he has seen it, but it's just so shocking to me that
Yeah,
there's not a single thing you liked.
that's
Like
stupid.
these
I find
characters.
that hard to believe, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like he watched this movie looking for
About-
things to hate.
How old was he about? Just a guess?
I'm guessing. I don't know him personally. I'm guessing 18, 20. something
Oh
like that.
shit! So like a little fucking punk kid.
Could be older. I mean, could be our age. I don't know. I really don't know. His avatar is not his actual face, so I don't know.
Don't you
but
fall
yeah,
asleep,
like-
Travis. I'm watching you.
Like these, like the characters have like the most depth out of almost any character in Star Wars history. Like
Yeah.
there's so much to build for all these characters, and like that's one of the strongest things for Force Awakens for me is like the strength of these characters and the depth of them and how much like the writers can build on them. They're not one dimensional. They all have crazy conflicts going on. Like we don't know, like real quick, for example, like Rey, we don't know who she's waiting for. We don't know what her conflict is. We don't know why she's so nice with the Force. Finn, we don't know who his family was. Why, like, he goes through some conflicts throughout the entire movie. Like, if you notice in that very first scene when they're slaughtering all the people in the village, he never pulls his trigger. Like he like cocks the gun to make it look like he's doing something, but he never does it.
Yep.
So like he goes through a lot in this movie. Han Solo like it has shown more emotion than I think we ever got from him in any of the other films. Leia was a little weak, but I mean, Carrie Fisher was doing heroin for 20 years, so you know what can we expect? She's clean now, which is fine, but like
I think she's fine.
Right. I just don't know like what her range is these days because of drugs, but and Kylo Ren, like we have never ever once seen a Sith throw temper tantrums and struggle with feeling seduced by the light side of the Force. Like that's not. I feel like the way everything was set up in the previous films was that every Jedi starts as good and struggles with darkness, but it's almost like Kylo Ren started as dark and is struggling with the light.
Yeah.
You know, like that's so interesting, and to not find a single thing to like about any of that, I don't know. You're just a hater.
And
Yeah.
And see, the thing I'm talking about is kind of a little different. Like I think Travis is on the same. We're on the same page. What kind of hate have you seen for Star Wars with people you work with? What are you talking about?
Me? Oh, well, I mean, I had a guy I was working with. He was talking about how, Rey, and we talked about this earlier, I think off screen, but like how she went pretty much from knowing she was like with the Force, and then doing mind tricks and all that stuff, and then being able to overpower Kylo Ren, all that stuff. And I was like, well, I could buy some of it, but then the Force like manipulate somebody's mind. You got to be trained in that, I would imagine. You can't just be like, you got to know what it's about. You got to know that you can do that.
Yeah.
She had no inkling whatsoever. There was no discussion about that, to my knowledge, in the movie beforehand about messing with somebody's mind like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we're not talking about the same thing. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Facebook, Twitter, in person. A lot of people have been hating not just on this movie, but the Star Wars franchise. That's what I'm talking about.
Really?
Of course, not a lot of people not everybody's going to like one thing, and I have no problem if you aren't a big fan of Star Wars. I'm not a big fan of say Twilight. I'm not a Twilight hater. I'm not a big fan. I don't watch Twilight. I don't go out there and say, you know what? Fuck Twilight. I don't go do that. But I feel weird because everybody at my work, besides 3 people, which I've never experienced this before, everybody fucking hates Star Wars. They don't just like, nah, I'm not going to watch it. They straight up talk shit about it. And we had, I work at a TV station, and people on air will like kind of take jabs at Star Wars. And they're like, oh, we got to talk about this again. With Star Wars opens up at #1 box office, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what's the deal? And I've seen people do memes on Facebook and Twitter like, yeah, I don't give a shit about you not liking Star Wars and stuff, because people like are going to the extremes to express their hate on Star Wars. I don't have none of you guys have seen this?
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna be really honest with you, dude. Like, I quite literally like make an active decision to like not look at stuff like that, if that makes sense. Like, it's sort of like when election season comes around, I unfollow so many people on Facebook who just hate, like who just love to hate stuff and hate on things, and just like voice some negativity. It's like,
right.
I'm not like trying to be like South Park and create a safe space, but like it's just like there's no need to like read it, you know? Like, you're entitled to your opinion, fine. And I'm not saying create an internet space where like everyone agrees with you, but there are people who voice opinions simply to be a hater and to get attention for hating on something. And you don't have to like Star Wars, and that's fine. Like, I don't like Star Trek, and I know a lot of people like Star Trek. I don't even like the newer movies. I can't get into the stories. It's just too dense for me. And it's just like, I don't like a lot of fantasy literature. Like, I don't like Lord of the Rings simply because I can't keep up with the names of things. It's too dense for me.
But you don't go out and you don't
I'm not going out
about
saying,
it.
oh my god, Lord of the Rings, I hated it. It's terrible.
Exactly.
Like some people just feed on negativity.
Yeah, there are some really cool scenes in Lord of the Rings. Like, again, I don't know a lot of the names, but when Aragorn like is able to control that undead army, it's like, oh my god, this is sick. Like, this is so dope. But, you know, sitting through an extra 2.5 hours of Peter Jackson just for that one scene is just a little much for me. But there are people out there who simply want to hate on things and get attention from that. And they think that it's like, oh, well, if I don't like something, it's a contrasting opinion to everyone else, so they'll pay attention to me. But in reality, you just look like an ass. It's like, you're not cool for hating on Star Wars. You're not cool for picking on people who like Star Wars. Like, what grade are you in? Like, how old are you? Get over yourself.
Yeah,
you don't have to like it, but you also don't have to hate on it. It's
this whole like nerd thing. Obviously, like, everybody's like, oh, if you're Star Wars, you're like, if you like Star Wars, you're just a huge nerd. It's really weird because we went through like a transition of everybody like being a nerd or whatever was as like got into like being cool and stuff. Like,
yeah,
it kind of like
became cool.
Yeah, and now like it's really strange now. Like, all like I'm seeing so many people. No, that's nothing but for a bunch of nerds. It's like almost like an anti like we're flip flopping here. And what
are the ages of the people that are hating on it at your work?
Seriously, from the oldest people that I work with to the youngest people I work with. Literally
wow.
There's only 3 people at my job, which, like I said, if you don't like Star Wars, that's fine. Not everybody's going to like it. But I've never been in an area where that many people in one group area have not liked it. And it's like one of the biggest series in film, and that many people hate it. And I got to tell this story super quick. My one person I work with, she said, you know what? I don't want to see that movie because I don't like how they changed Darth Vader's voice. Think about that for a second. I looked at her. I tried not to say anything. I said, what do you mean? She's like, oh, I saw the trailers and stuff and they changed his voice. I don't like that. I don't think I'm going to watch it. And I'm like she's like got so like a negative, like
she's finding something to hate. Like, that's how I would see it.
She's just finding
something to hate.
I know, and she don't even know what she's talking about. It's just like I've seen there's just like kind of like a group. It's almost like a little thing. Like, it's cool to fucking hate on Star Wars.
It's ignorance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ignorance. It's straight up ignorance.
She just wants to be part of the meta. People that hate on Star Wars.
Yeah, and I just had to tell her.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. It's not even worth talking about. Like, it's not. Like, who cares? Who cares?
Well, sorry.
Let these people wallow in misery. And like I
brought it up.
No, you know,
it's like how people
I'm not
hate
saying
on
it like
Dawson's
that.
Creek, you know, it's a great series. You know,
But like it's it's remarkable like how differently you can live your life if you just don't like if you just like make the conscious decision to not engage in that sort of negativity.
Exactly.
Like people like doubting you, people putting you down, people like hating on your hobbies, people hating on your movies. It's like, who cares? Like you're not gonna change my opinion. You're not gonna like influence me. And dude, it's almost like, to bring this full circle and to like make it like a super nerdy comment about it, but like it's almost like people struggling with like light side and dark side. Like you know, like you don't always have to like sometimes inaction is the best action. Like you don't have to like always be participating. You can just sort of like chill out for a bit.
You know me though. I like to. When they start talking,
I know.
I'm
I know you. I know you.
And that's the thing. The funny thing is, I don't even consider myself like a fanatic or a hardcore Star Wars fan. I mean, hell, I haven't seen the original movies in like 10 years. I'm a fan. I like Star Wars. I've been watching them forever. I don't know like every planet you guys named. I didn't know any of the fucking planets. But Travis is sleeping as I'm going to continue. You can go to sleep. I don't care. But I'm just playing with you.
Whatever the fuck. I'm playing a video game.
Anyway. But whenever they're talking about it, I don't know why I feel obligated, but I feel like I have to.
It's not even worth it. Like because you're not going to change their opinion.
I don't try to. I just like to be the
But
voice.
it's like arguing with stupidity. Like you get yourself worked up over someone else's stupidity.
Yeah, and I'm not even like arguing with them. I'm just kind of like getting them. I like to like dig into people and find out like how they think, what they're thinking. I want to know why all these people hate Star Wars. I mean,
because they're ignorant. They're ignorant about the topic, and it's just easier for them to dismiss it and hate on it than it is to like either become educated or just close their mouths.
You don't know how it's just like the cool thing now is, you know what? I've never even seen Star Wars. That's like the cool thing now is to not have. It's like that's like the cool thing is to not have seen Star Wars movies.
Travis is dying.
Travis is out.
I think you just lost your character. You playing hardcore?
You just died, son.
Sorry, man.
But yeah, sorry. I just wanted to bring that up. I just noticed a little string of a lot of Star Wars hate and how it's all of a sudden cool to not have seen the Star Wars movies.
I think you just like got a stroke of bad luck with those people. Because I mean,
I just thought it was weird.
I've had plenty of people on my Facebook say that Force Awakens is a disaster and they hated it.
See, I've never seen anybody not like the movie though. That's different.
I saw like 4 or 5 of them just today of people hating the movie, and you know it's opinions.
Yeah,
some people have informed opinions, and some people really don't like things. Some people look for things to hate. And then some people are just ignorant about a situation, so they don't want to educate themselves, and it's just easier for them to dismiss it entirely and dismiss it in like a loud, boisterous way.
Cool.
It's not just Star Wars; it's anything. It's anything in life. You'll find that.
Mm-hmm. Well, has anybody got anything else they want to bring up about Star Wars?
I will be 33 when this saga ends.
Oof.
I thought about that the other day.
You know, I'll be dead.
How old are you now, John?
27.
I'll be dead.
Oh my goodness.
I'll probably be dead. I'll be dead before
36.
the next one comes out.
And Lex will be like 38.
But
old Lex.
It's all good. But yeah, guys. First of all, if you're stuck with us this whole time and you enjoy this, appreciate it. Give us a follow or a little subscribe. That's what I'm talking about. Subscribe on YouTube. Search Jobsquad Media. And follow us on Twitter. I'm trying to get into more tweets. And by the way, guys, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I gave everybody the Twitter stuff. If you want to get on there and tweet.
Yeah, I should do that.
Yeah, feel free to tweet anything you want. I don't care. As long as you don't be throwing them N-bombs out, troll. But yeah, follow us, Job Squad Media, on Twitter.
How can people find us on iTunes, Jake?
Oh, John. That's a great question you asked that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm curious.
If you're watching us on YouTube and you want to get all the other episodes, plus I also do the wrestling podcast. You'll also find it in the feed on iTunes. Just search for Jobber Radio. That's what it's all under one umbrella called Jobber Radio. You'll find us there. You'll find the other podcasts there, and yeah. So you follow us on that. And if you're listening to us right now, get on YouTube. Just you can actually see our pretty faces. And Elias's hat and Christmas tree that he's got.
And me being asleep.
Yeah, this Christmas tree.
And you gotta be able to get on and watch Troll sleep throughout half the show.
Elias, that Christmas tree has to stay there forever now.
That's part of the show now. That is part of the show.
Tell Katie that thing stays.
But
yeah, I hate pulling that shit out.
Well, this is a fake tree, man, instead of a real.
It may be fake, but that shit
it was
put
a
on the
fucking
balls and
struggle
ornaments.
to get up to your damn apartment, man.
It's just where we have it at. It's just a pain in the ass to pull out.
it looks like you like have everything measured like in precise precision on where it's all at on that tree.
On the tree, yeah.
Yeah.
Jake, you've been to their
We
apartment,
take it
right?
pretty seriously around here.
Yeah,
They
I've
have
been
a
in there.
diagram before they set it up.
Yeah.
Mapped it
Yeah,
out.
I've been in their apartment. Yeah.
Yeah, everything's like that over there.
Yeah.
We have
It's
have
very
another
nice.
tree. It's like 8 feet tall. It's in the other room, and it's
You
like,
got 2 trees?
we got 3 trees,
Dude,
brother.
3 trees?
Lumberjacks.
What the fuck you got 3 trees for?
Well, one's like probably 2 feet tall.
What's that one used for?
It's just decoration.
Well, there you go.
My wife is like the interior decorator
There you go. 3 trees for Christmas.
that she needs to be.
This guy celebrates 3 times hard as on Christmas. But yeah, so speaking of that, we're not going to be on for the rest of the year, which is only like 2 weeks away. But
This is it.
yeah, this is it. This is our last episode of 2015, guys. We're ending it on a high note. Star Wars: Force
Yep.
Awakens. I think it was pretty good damn time to end on this year. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll be coming back obviously in 2 weeks, I think, beginning of 2016. A whole new episode. But
Do we know what the movie spotlight is for the first episode of January?
we don't have the movie spotlight for the next movie yet, or for the next
Maybe we should do Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight or
Yeah, that
Revenant.
sounds good. Yeah.
Oh,
either-
Revenant will be out by then?
Revenant might be
January
the other
8th,
one.
I think.
Oh.
Well, January 8th. Aren't we doing January 4th for the next episode?
I think it's 4th, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're doing
Let's-
January 4th.
Oh, here we go. What, Elias?
Oh, here it is.
No,
Interstellar.
I can do January 4th.
Oh, I heard a...
I don't have
No,
an
he
issue.
was-
I was trying to think of theatrical releases.
He was going to say Interstellar.
Yeah, I
It's on
got one.
Amazon Prime. You motherfuckers need to watch it.
Yeah.
It was on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Interstellar? Oh shit!
Maybe
Okay,
I'll
I
watch
gotta-
it tonight. Maybe I'll
I gotta
watch
watch
it
it.
tonight.
I gotta show
Dude,
my
if you
family
watch
that.
it tonight, you will.
Does
thank-
does the Hateful
thank-
Eight come out before the 4th or no?
I
If
think
it
it
comes
comes
out
out
Christmas.
31st.
Oh, damn, that comes out at the end of the... Wait,
Let me check.
July,
Let me just check.
December 31st?
Let me check.
Hateful Eight?
Yeah.
It comes out Christmas.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
Christmas.
we can do that one if you guys want. We can do Hateful Eight. for the
January 1st.
next- That's
Hateful Eight
perfect.
comes out January 1st?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Oh, I thought it was Christmas.
We're gonna have to watch it though.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
apparently it was leaked just a while ago, I guess.
it says limited December 25th.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that. It was limited. I remember seeing that
I wonder if I can see it.
limited
Like if
release.
there's anywhere around here that I could see it.
I don't know.
Oh, don't
And then
don't
the
go right
Revenant
there.
is January 8th, which of course you can watch all that stuff.
Yeah. Either way, guys, I promise you, it's gonna be. We'll have some good stuff to talk about on the next
All right.
episode.
Anybody want to say anything before the year's over? You know, any last words?
That is true.
on the show?
Oh, by the way, real quick. On our next episode, we will be talking like year-end stuff. We'll be like our favorite movie of the year, favorite games of the year, all that. We're gonna do our like year-end thing on our next episode.
Yes.
I want to tell you guys that.
Yes.
So that will be our 2015 kind of episode, like recap.
All right.
So heads
Cool.
up on that. So that should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. But
Well,
yeah. anybody
before
else
we
got
end the
anything?
show, I'm gonna tell everybody what I just read.
Do it.
So the Chew TV show,
Mhm.
TV miniseries that I was just referring to earlier, the main character that has been casted to play Tony Chew is Steven Yin from The Walking Dead.
Ooh.
The guy who just not died?
That's right, the guy who just not died.
What the fuck you mean? He's in it?
He's the main character.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna leave you guys with that.
Wow.
No one else.
Wow.
This isn't. I'm not insinuating that
Glenn.
Glenn's gonna die.
I am.
It's a TV miniseries. It's not. It's not gonna be a reoccurring, series.
Yeah.
Although it could be. I don't know.
Plus, they could start filming in a month, and then Walking Dead would start filming a month after that.
I
That's
think Walking
true.
Dead's already been filming. But either way,
My little tidbit.
yeah. Cool. I mean that's pretty interesting. Pretty nuts. But
Okay.
yeah, anybody got any plugs or anything before we head out of here?
thanks for if you've listened for all 3 episodes, thanks. And if you're just joining us, we hope to have you back again.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, guys.
Definitely. Thanks for watching. I'll probably be streaming next year.
Yeah, I gotta start streaming again too. I mean, I've been sinking a lot of time into The Witcher, and that's probably a good stream game.
Oh God, yeah. Like you've been playing on which system?
PS4.
Oh, that is an amazing game.
Yeah, I'm thinking about moving my PS4 back into the office here and getting the AverMedia.
There you go.
I don't know, man. That's a lot of wires, a lot of shit to deal with.
No shit.
Yeah.
I think I might just skip.
John,
that
I want
part.
to talk to you about that also afterwards.
But
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah. So anybody got anything?
oh, thanks for having me.
Hey, anytime.
As always,
folks. But yeah, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us on iTunes, wherever you are listening to us, watching us. Thanks a lot. And we'll be back 2016, guys.
See ya.
Peace.
See ya.
deuces.
Yeah.
Yeah.